Angela.
What are you afraid of?
I'm not afraid of anything.
Just do it already.
We're live.
Oh.
We're live.
You coward. Just do it.
It's Tuesday, but it feels like Wednesday.
Dude, to me, it feels like Monday. I feel like we had a whole weekend since yesterday.
It feels like Monday.
It feels like I just returned to work after a weekend. And I think it's because I did a lot of baking today.
I feel like I've had a longer week.
And I usually bake on weekends, so I've tricked my brain into thinking if I'm baking, it must be the weekend.
Guilty Angel's with us. Hi, Guilty Angel. Let me pop this out, this chat, real quick. I can't pop it out before we begin because then it would be on the guy balancing on the wire. Do you get it? Do you get the metaphor there? You know, we're all walking on a tight wire here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It do be like that sometimes.
Or sometimes we're eating popcorn. Every now and then I put that one where it's the people in the car because it's just like nostalgia. It's like, remember how it used to be?
Yeah.
When we didn't have all this shit and we were just trying to like get the Pontiac to start.
What do you think the single biggest reason why we're all miserable now compared to then is?
What was that bill that allowed politicians to take money?
Oh, what is it called? It's Citizens United.
Citizens United.
That's what the one thing, the
There
one
it is.
difference. Yeah.
I would blame Citizens United and then the Patriot Act and all these other things, but that all came later after Citizens United and then like, you know, basically what happened was that all these like greedy fucking people got their way and were able to consume all this money, but you know, we've seen all the like deals with the devil, like, you know, in the movies, you know, where it's like everything's all hunky-dory. Like, yeah, man, I got money. I'm going to beat my opponent.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, you know, shit comes due. You know what I mean? You got to pay for that money. And that's...
And we're all paying for that.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
That's right.
Lee said that you're up to 570 subs.
Yeah,
Congrats.
I know. We're not doing so bad. Hopefully, you know... Lee didn't get pulled up.
Lee didn't get raptured?
No, thank God.
Well, I'm glad you're still here
But
with
look,
the rest of us.
you know, I
heathens.
guess Delicate did because she's not here yet.
I asked Dale yesterday, I was like, wait, were you ever baptized? You said no, right?
I was.
You were baptized?
Yeah, involuntarily, but yeah.
I didn't have a choice in it either.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess that means we're both going to get raptured since we were baptized.
I just got told randomly I was baptized too. I didn't even know. It was like, by the way, you're united or something.
You got dunked in some water when you were a kid.
Like, what the fuck? Since when?
Yeah.
You know, a whole bunch of things happened to me that I didn't ask for. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know. I have pictures.
Kind of like that, you know, like branding and tagging.
I have pictures of my first communion, and I remember it being a big deal, but I don't remember anything about it. It's just like they put kids through these things that are just like they don't imprint at all. It was a huge deal.
Indeed.
Lee said, I'm a sinner. Yeah, that's probably why you didn't get raptured.
Me too. I mean, I'm pretty much the definition of it, really.
Guilty Angel said, yeah, I guess I've been naughty.
I guess, you know.
Well, there's still time. I mean, they said it was going to happen on Tuesday, and Tuesday's not over. So maybe it'll happen like just before the stroke of midnight, maybe?
Yeah, maybe not to, you know, shit on the parade of this idea of this rapture not happening, because of course it's not going to happen.
Don't shit on parades, Dale.
But
nobody likes that.
I just want to address that, you know, as far as spirituality goes, and as far as religion goes, and as far as these things that can be very important to individuals, that I do truly fully respect people's choices that they make with regards to their faith and their spirituality. Mm-hmm. I've made some of my own.
Yeah.
And I would like for mine to be respected. Rarely can they be in this society because I believe in things like astrology, for example. But, you know, and astrology not being and astrology really like leaning towards spirituality, but more toward, well, anyway. So before I get, you know, away from it, I just want to acknowledge that I think that the rapture and the idea of a rapture is ridiculous. This is not something I can avoid. It is not any kind of a judgment on anyone's religion. And I just want to really say this emphatically, or in what you believe. If you believe in such a thing, or that such a thing can come about, or, I respect the fact that you believe that. And I hope that you can respect in return that I think it's ridiculous. I just think it's ridiculous. And time after time, it gets proven as ridiculous because it's pretty much ridiculous. You're not going to get pulled up into space. There's nowhere to go up there. You know what I mean? There's no destination. There's an atmosphere.
I think it's just really interesting how
cold temperatures before you even get to it. Sorry.
Most of these religions were developed very obviously to be like a collection of stories where you're supposed to reflect on the metaphors and the analogies and apply the lessons to your own life. Like Aesop's Fables was all about like morality and stuff,
Yeah, I love it.
But it's just really interesting how people will repeatedly through the ages, like take this stuff so literally.
Yeah.
Like you're not actually supposed to believe that you're going to get like physically ascended. I don't know.
Well, they're getting mocked all over the internet because they're doing things like buying Bibles and leaving them out for people because somebody's obviously going to take their house.
No, people are really making fun.
Imagine how fucking foolish they feel right now. It must be terrible for them.
Well, I know, but that's another thing too, is like a lot of these kinds of like really extreme beliefs, they result in really, really distorted feelings of like distress because the thing that they truly did really put all their chips in on believing didn't happen.
Yeah.
Somebody was just sharing the video of the guy he'd spent like all of his savings like buying billboards, and like he was in Times Square like always wearing the boards saying that the end is nigh, because he had a vision and he knew that it was the date and the time, right? Where he had like done some sort of mathematical equation or something.
And it was supposed to be yesterday?
The guy was convinced.
Yesterday.
No, this is an old video. This is like from the mid 2000s
right.
or something. And so everybody gathered with him at the time for like the countdown, because it's Times Square. Everybody loves a countdown in Times Square. So there was like a huge crowd.
Bet you almost all of them are like, hey, if he's fucking right, I'm here.
Yeah.
If he's not, New York City, let's go. Let's do some shit.
Right.
Whatever. We'll eat well.
No, I know.
Just don't give away your money to your cars just yet.
Well, so the camera crew was there, and everybody's sharing this video now, obviously, because it's so relevant. But the camera crew was there to interview him at 6:01, which was a minute after he said it was going to be the end times.
Yeah.
And he was actually really pragmatic about it. He was like, well, I thought my calculations were correct. I don't know where I made a mistake, but obviously I made a mistake. And everybody was just like laughing and jeering at him. But he was just like, I mean, people can be wrong. Like, it's no big deal. And I just hope that that's the attitude that everybody has about this rapture thing.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Not this time. Wrong.
I know. I feel like people are going to be like not normal about it.
No, you're making a great point. It's like, hey, we just packed the picnic basket. We're ready to go. It just didn't happen. We're not going on the trip,
Maybe next time.
Well, that cult in San Diego that ended up unaliving everybody.
Yes.
So that they could ascend to the spaceship or whatever it is that's waiting for them.
Yeah, what was that called? I always forget the name.
Yeah. They're still
Kingdom
going.
of Heaven? No.
They're still going strong.
Why do I get that? Heaven's Gate.
Heaven's Gate.
Heaven's Gate is the cult. Yeah.
That is it. They're still going strong. And to this day, and they still believe, they're still waiting. They're waiting for the next, the next round of pickups.
Yeah, they are.
It's a fact, yes.
They're still in it.
It's still a cult. It's still going strong. Yeah, they got their website's still up, and the whole fucking to do.
The guys in charge must have been so baffled when they all just like kept following them. Where they're like, "We were wrong. I don't know. I guess this is it." And they're like, "Oh, you're still here? Oh, okay, great."
I for a second
keep tithing. This is awesome.
I for a second got exposed to what the either the state or the federal government was recognizing as or investigating as a cult. It was called the Church of Jesus Christ. This is just after all the Don's Plum shit went down. I had read the Bible, and I went and I hung out at this church with this girl, and it was so cool. Like I was like,
what do you mean
wow.
It was cool?
Like they had this like badass like 9-piece band.
Oh,
like,
this is how they get you, man. They make it really cool.
And they were doing like cool like Sting and shit, and
yeah.
they were like, free, set them free, and I'm like, damn, this is fucking sweet. And and hanging around with all these happy people.
You almost got inspired.
So I was digging it, and then they made the move on me. Like it was like a few weeks. And the move was basically like, hey, if you're interested in somebody, romantically, then that has to get approved, and you guys have to live separately, and like they just all these things just started coming at me out of nowhere because I wasn't even committed to any kind of church. I was just coming and dropping in and going, "You guys doing that dance thing again? I'll do that." And
He started to impose rules
they
on
got
you?
super weird about it. Oh yeah, I forgot to do that. Yeah, they got super weird about it, and so yeah.
What'd you forget to do?
I have a volume adjustment because I earlier was trying to record some of the reading of my book.
Oh, so are you high volume right now?
And I'm high volume right now. So I'm just going to take care of that. There's no emergency. Thank you for noticing that I was trying to cover up my tracks. But thank you for not talking while I do it because I need to see my levels. And
Congratulations, Delicatessen. Delicate.
hang on one second. Please don't talk. Thank you very much. I just need to get my level. There you go.
Oh,
Thank you.
sorry.
No, you're good.
Delicate said, I'm here. I'm happy my presentation is over.
Oh, sweet.
Did it go well? I want to know all about
Congrats. Yeah, I hope you killed it.
it. Cosmic Urgency said the Heaven's Gate, that they all went out wearing Nikes. That's so weird.
Oh, that's right. They did. That's true. They had
Damon Child said the Heaven's Gate is a superb movie. Heaven's Gate. Oh, maybe that's a different. I don't think that's about the cult. I gotta look that up. Delicate said, got mixed up with the Church of Jesus Christ when I was in college. I had the same experience, Dale. They started telling me how to dress. I was like, what the fuck? I'm out. Then I learned they were a cult.
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that wild?
Well, I wonder why they don't like mellow out with the onboarding.
By the way,
Like if that pushes people away, like if they're suddenly imposing rules and that pushes people away, I'm surprised they don't try harder.
they rented out the Pantages too.
What?
Yeah. So
That's
we were at
awesome.
the Pantages. Yeah, it was fucking amazing. And then they changed venues. It wasn't always the Pantages. Like sometimes it was outdoors. But yeah, dude, that shit was so culty. And I was like, oh, hey, shit, these guys might get my money. Like I was really enjoying myself. And also, even though I was never really close to him, but Donald Faison was there. And I knew Donald from, the Clueless, days. And so it was good to see him, I was like, Donald. And there was another dude there, one of his buddies whose name escapes me. But, he was also like an actor who I recognized, but I just cannot remember him right now. And we were just all hanging out. I was like, oh, this is cool. I don't know if Donald ended up staying or not, but I left.
Damon Child, are you talking about Heaven's Gate with Chris Christopherson, the 1980 Western action movie? Because this does look kind of awesome.
Chris Christopherson.
Yes.
Yeah.
This cast is ridiculous. Jeff Bridges, Chris Christopherson, Christopher Walken, Isabelle Huppert, the French actress. She's
Yeah.
amazing. Willem Dafoe, John Hurt.
Yeah, we have to watch that.
I know.
Is that going on the list for this week? What's this week looking like for movies right now?
I had forgotten. We had others yesterday that were recommended.
You're not writing them down.
No, I mean, I screenshot them while I'm here. Yeah.
Oh, you do? So you haven't
Yeah,
screenshot
so I have them.
Okay.
But you don't remember?
I have to, it's been a
We need a whiteboard in here.
it's been a day. I've had a day.
You had a day?
Yeah. It's just this kind of one of them stressful days.
Yeah.
They happen. We all have them.
Delicate
I
said
had
the presentation did go well. I talked for 50 minutes straight. It was on 2026 updates to the International Classification of Diseases known as ICD-10.
I am just absolutely amazed that you do that.
50 minutes.
That's
Damn.
crazy. Dude,
You deserve cake.
all academic
You
like.
deserve cake for that. Somebody should make you a cake. You should make yourself a cake.
Yeah. Short spurts of
Cosmic
joy
Urgency
and-
is scolding us. Anything but Manhunter, apparently.
Well, that is on the list. We almost watched Manhunter yesterday or this weekend, but it got flipped for Inside Man.
The Insider.
The Insider,
Which was regrettable.
which was regrettable.
Yep.
Yeah. Absolute mistake. Totally.
Delicate
This
said,
is movies.
I wasn't nervous, surprisingly. It's because I didn't read from a script. I just ad-libbed. What? That's awesome.
That's the way to go.
Now I know going forward that I need to not read from a script because that's what makes me nervous.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, well, because if you start fucking up, then you have a plan, and now the plan is broken, and you don't have a recovery for plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And
And there's no take two.
I think it's easier with like a really loose outline so you can skip around. I don't know. Whatever.
I couldn't possibly, I couldn't do a speech. I'd never be able to.
Oh, really? Didn't you used to do like?
I mean, I could do talks,
Oh, okay.
but I couldn't do them to a script.
Oh,
That's what I mean.
yeah. Well,
I can do talks. I lectured at University of Georgia. you know?
right. And I was also thinking about how you led. Didn't you lead presentations for the Tony Robbins?
I did. Yeah, I did do some.
So you guys didn't have a script for that? You could just wing it?
Yeah, no scripts. We had his lecture, so we knew what we were talking about and what specifically were we'll call them techniques, for lack of a better term. Mm-hmm. That's about it. Anywho, enough about me. Let's talk about you.
Okay, so some really weird things happened in the news today.
Yes.
So we heard about how Travis Kelce's property was apparently like trespassed onto. Some private investigator, I guess, like jumped a wall or scaled a gate or something. Like jumped over into his property at 2 a.m.
Yeah,
And apparently the story is that this person intended to be there for legitimate reasons. But they're fucking literally breaking into the property. Like, there's no way that you scale a wall being like, oh, I belong here. Yeah, no problem.
at 2 a.m.
At 2 a.m.?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. So
well, let me just set some foundation for this, right? So obviously this fucker is jumping a fence and trying to serve Taylor Swift on Travis Kelce's property. It's not even Taylor Swift's property. They are engaged. He is trespassing on somebody else's property entirely, even if it were legal, were it, Taylor Swift's property.
But the story is that he was there to serve a process for a deposition.
It's process served. So he was serving her
for fucking Baldoni's lawsuit.
Well, so where I'm going with this is that, so this is all ridiculous, and I think the judge is going to be very upset about it. And the reason why is because, first of all, forget his ruling already. And by the way, I guess their idea is that they're going to serve because the judge gave them an opportunity to amend, and so they are going to amend, and they were going to serve her in the process. But they don't need to serve her.
No.
And the reason they don't need to serve her is because she's Taylor Swift. And the way that you're going to serve Taylor Swift is through a negotiation with her attorney. That's how that's going to go.
Which they already did last time. They already the attorney.
It would never go another way.
The attorney accepted process for Taylor Swift by email. They don't have to fucking track her down at all.
So they're being harassing.
Yes.
This is about harassment.
I mean, he's lucky he didn't get killed for being a fucking stalking, like, burglar. I don't know.
Well, I mean, of course, he is lucky that he's man. Anyway.
Yeah.
He's, I mean,
it is so absurd.
The Kelces are from Ohio. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they got their gun rights on their mind. You know what I mean?
It's so absurd and so outrageous that I actually questioned whether it even happened. Because it was only reported, apparently it was like exclusive on Star, which I don't know what that is.
Well, it wasn't, they have an exclusive, it's actually a good little article, the Star article.
Yeah, I know, but like, did it even happen? Because how fucking weird is that? What a super, super strange situation.
What do you mean? Did it even happen?
Well, it's
it absolutely
reported
happened.
On,
it happened. He's been identified. His place of employment has been identified. He is a process server. He did feel as though he was acting within the rights of a process server. He has gave a small. The exclusive was they got a hold of him on Star, and he did make a couple of comments, and one of them was that he is almost certainly going to lose his PI license. He was also, I believe he was let go as a cop, but I'm not 100% sure. He is an ex-cop though.
I heard that the reason why he lost his firearms license for DV with his wife.
I mean, so there you have it.
So it's like, what are you guys? Okay, so first of all, what's super strange about this is that he's trying to serve Taylor Swift on a Sunday morning. So it was early Monday before the law offices even opened. Why couldn't they wait just a few hours to talk to her attorney?
There's no why. We know why. They know that to serve Taylor Swift, everybody knows that to serve Taylor Swift, you would do that through her attorneys. Everybody knows that. So, and the reason everybody knows that is because you can't have access to her just randomly. There's no access to Taylor Swift randomly. She can't live that kind of life. It's an impossibility. It's not about her being stuck up. It's not about her being snobby or different than us. It is about her security. She cannot just fucking have people roaming in and about her situation at any given time. They are always on the alert when it comes to Taylor Swift, and that's especially true nowadays.
I was actually super stunned to see that this story is being spun by the pro Baldoni people. It's really amazing. So, of course, they're spinning it saying that Taylor Swift was endangered and it's all Blake Lively's fault for bringing her into this mess.
Well,
can you imagine?
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously so absurd.
Like, oh my God.
Well, and the thing that makes it so absurd, of course, is that they shouldn't have even attempted to be serving her. They should not have hired a process server to do it.
Yeah.
This is all on the Wayfarer parties.
And then this is really predictable. Sassy Dave Navarro, Zach Peter, wasted no time talking about it on his show. This is him on Twitter. He said, Taylor Swift is dodging Justin Baldoni's subpoena by having the agent that served her arrested as he continues his fight against Blake Lively.
I mean, they keep saying that she's trying to dodge a subpoena. She's not. You can't have access to her, you fucking half-witted fool.
Why don't you subpoena her the same way that
Zach?
Yes.
Zach's stupid. Zach is his brain is small.
Also, he
doesn't have any ability. He represents nothing of any value.
It's so convenient that he's selectively omitting the very biggest details.
He knows nothing.
That changed the entire narrative of this story. She is not dodging Justin Baldoni's subpoena. Justin Baldoni previously subpoenaed Taylor Swift through her lawyer. They know how to do it. They have no business trying to get to her private residence. And that she's dodging the subpoena by having the agent that served her arrested. It is just an insane way to frame how somebody like completely broke the law and were arrested by police as a result of their unlawful behavior.
And that person...
What do you mean she had him arrested? Did he get arrested because he did a crime? Yes.
And that person was hired, contracted by Baldoni.
It doesn't look good, dude.
I mean, it's fucking writing on the wall.
This is another time where Baldoni needs somebody to be a witness for his defense, like Isabel Ferrer. She had to go public and say that he's harassing me. And now he's hoping that Taylor Swift is somehow a witness for his defense. And she's obviously not very pleased with his fucking conduct with this. What the hell are they doing?
It's just, it's just sad because you see like guys like Zach Peter and guys like Andy Signor, and they have this giant following. And you just wonder why. Because these men are not... they don't exercise their intelligence.
This reporting is not does not align with reality. Taylor Swift is dodging Justin Baldoni's subpoena by having the agent that served her arrested. That is not a real headline. That is not a real description of what happened. I don't understand why they think that they can spin things so dramatically and not completely lose credibility.
It's absolutely bizarre. It's
fucking weird.
Crazy. So this guy is charged now with, I imagine that's a felony, but if it's not, he's certainly charged with a crime. And that he obviously has to now, lawyer up, and he's got to go through a process now. He's got to find a way to prove his innocence, I guess. Or his defense. He's got to defend his actions now, and that's going to cost him a bunch of fucking money. And this is all because he was hired by Justin Baldoni's fucking mobster style PR centric attorneys, Brian Friedman. By the way, I came across this odd thing today. It's a website called whoisbrianfriedman.com.
Oh yeah, I looked this up on incognito mode because I was like, I don't want these motherfuckers tracking me.
Yeah, right, exactly. It's like, okay, yeah, sure, yeah, but it's this website that's basically, I guess, exposing him for lying.
Whoisbrianfriedman.com, and it goes, who is the real Brian Friedman? Brian Friedman wants to bury his past and hide his personal transgressions. It is hypocritical that he acts so self-righteous. This is the real Brian Friedman. And it goes through all of these previous allegations, all of the articles. There's links to all these articles about him, all this negative press, which seem deserved as far as I can see. But it's interesting because there's two people now who are alleging that that Melissa Nathan was responsible for putting together snark websites, hate websites.
Yeah.
critical websites about the people her clients are trying to ruin in the press. And so here's one against Brian Friedman. Now, is Melissa Nathan behind this one too? Because it might be that she hates his ass.
Somebody called Ruby something. I heard some suspicion around some Ruby.
Yes, Ruby Rose was saying that she was a victim of this exact tactic. No, sorry, but that Brian Friedman and I guess Melissa Nathan, I'm not sure if she was involved, but that she was part of a smear campaign. And so she's just describing what happened to her. And it sounds really similar.
Well, if you want to check it out, it's called whoisbrianfriedman.com. I checked it out.
Did you use it in incognito mode?
I went in incognito mode because you don't know what you're going to get. You don't know if they're like phishing or whatever it is.
Yeah, right.
So I just went in incognito mode and I just started scrolling through. And it basically is questioning his veracity as an attorney.
Yes. Well, they're saying that he settled a lawsuit when he was in college. He was accused of SA.
Yes.
And I think even like kidnapping.
He had to pay out some dough, right? Like he had to pay out some like 6-figure dough.
In quotes, Friedman was the first to assault victim. Yikes. But apparently they're saying that he may have lied about that when he applied for his, I don't know what the process is to become a lawyer.
Right. During his bar or whatever.
Yeah, they have to like submit a bunch of, personal documents.
Well, it's like, so the guy's obviously been, fucking, I hope they rip him to pieces because I think he's the biggest piece of shit in law that I've ever seen in my life. There's a lot of bad attorneys. Like we've seen a lot of bad attorneys since, this whole crime and, whatever civil litigation thing has become public. We've seen a lot of really, really bad lawyering. This is the worst I can remember of everything I've seen. I'm not going to lie. I like this stuff. I consume it. And, I enjoy it because I find it entirely fascinating that there's this legal process that's supposed to allow the truth to be shaken out through,
This is interesting.
Yeah.
So on this website, Who is Brian Friedman?
Yeah.
There's a section that says, so why do I care about Brian Friedman?
Yeah.
Well, I am one of his many victims. During the course of a legal case, Brian Friedman knowingly fabricated very serious and completely false allegations against me. Brian Friedman's attacks have ruined my life. People think Brian is one of the good guys, so they believe what he peddles. But in my opinion, he is just as bad as those who keep getting away with it. Someone needs to tell the truth about Brian and fight back for all those he has abused, threatened, and silenced. So there's a subheading about a sexual assault case against him. And questionable behavior is other links. Yikes, dude.
Yeah, so it's a website that straight up like exposes the things that she knows about.
You know what I love about me? There's no way that I somebody might not like me or something, but they could never build a fucking website like this.
They can't build a website on you like that, huh?
I don't have a reputation this bad.
No.
I don't know why these people keep sticking their neck out when they've got this really fucking super skeleton-y past, We
should probably say hi to some folks.
Yes.
I don't think we've said hi to anyone. Just some shout outs to some folks that are here that are, we're so glad to see, right? Lee and Guilty Angel and Scientist is here.
Scientist said, oh, did I sleep through the rapture?
You did. Wake up, wake up. That or, here we are. It didn't happen. Well, before I went to bed, there was reports from Australia. It was like the Santa Claus thing, You're like,
yeah, or like New Year's. Yeah.
Australian here. It's 12:01 in the morning and everything seems normal thus far.
Guilty Angel said, it's nice to be left behind with you all.
Yeah, indeed. Delicate Cosmic Urgency. Good to see you guys. Kindly DiCaprio. Great to see you always. Who else we've got? Oh, Deacon. Deacon says trying to beat SH allegations by sending a process server with a DV record and that's on an SA registry to break onto the property at 2 a.m. is a choice. Well, it is. It's at least a bunch of choices and it resulted in his arrest and it's going to result in the likely revocation of his
not beating
PI
the guilty
license.
Not beating the guilty allegations, but like what the fuck?
This guy's going to be some miserable like telemarketer telling this story like 10 years from now, He's sitting next to the guy trying to, I guess telemarketing is probably going to definitely go to the robots, but.
No, he'll be working at a bot farm.
God, speaking of the robots, dude, I saw today a post and the title of the post was "It's Over," and then the first thing you do is you click on it, is this absolutely gorgeous brunette with like this low cut top button up, and she's like turning her head, and then in the corner is the guy.
Oh yeah, no, I saw that. I thought that was super neat.
It's so horrific. It's the most horrific thing.
Yeah.
It's the most horrific. Like, the guy's like, we're done. And like all the comments is like, it's it. It's a wrap. It's finished. We're over. We're done. It's a wrap. I mean, we're going to have to go outside. We're going to have to leave our homes and we're going to have to go outside. We have to like touch, verify, like ID is going to be flesh.
Yeah. Creepy.
So scary. Good to see Deacon. Shannon is here. Hello, Shannon.
Wonderful.
Feldbaumling is here. Always good to see you. Yeah. I think I covered most. Hanata is here. SC, what's up? Pro Baldoni can't make sense of it. Ex-cop, domestic abuser, 2 a.m. trespassing. Come on. Come on.
This is why I questioned whether it was even real. I was like, okay, well, first of all, any cop, whether they're disgraced or not, knows that you don't do this without, real serious repercussions. Like you don't scale the fence of a wealthy person's home.
No, God, no.
They have security. Like it's very evident from the outside. It's fucking weird.
Jeremy's here. What's up, Jeremy? It's fucking weird.
So I'm a little skeptical that it even happened.
I'm not. You're skeptical it happened? I'm definitely
skeptical
not.
It even happened because it's so bizarre.
Well, I've linked the Star article with the exclusive.
Yeah.
I've linked that article in the description of the live tonight. Click on it and read it. You too. I read it earlier. It's a good little read, actually. It's a really quick one. You want me to read it for you now?
No.
That was quick.
It's a really big deal for Delicate, this presentation yesterday, and that it went well. Delicate said, I have a phobia of public speaking.
Oh, this is so great.
Isn't that awesome?
Well, you know what's so interesting about that is Delicate has Mars in her first house. Delicate is Scorpio rising.
Oh, so it really gave you like the extra oomph.
Yeah.
Like the extra initiative.
Yeah, and that trines her fifth house.
That's so cool.
So it also trines her fifth house, which is her house of creativity, her house of, so she's gonna, possibly be able to find, very creative ways to deal with.
Mars also is like really, really great as an asset for public speaking. There's a ton of like really exceptional stand-up comedians that have really prominent and well-placed Mars.
Yeah.
Because you got to be really like snappy and quick,
Yeah.
And really brave.
And this, by the way, astrologically speaking, is that Mars is in its domicile. So that means it's a really, really helpful and very invigorated Mars. It's a very powerful Mars. So for the next couple of months, we Scorpio risings, we got a little metal.
Yeah, you got to watch out though. Like you still have to it's totally like pick your battles mode.
Well, also
because you can get drawn into fights really easy too.
Well, and the other thing you got to
for the same reason. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. And the thing that you have to really be careful about is the square to Pluto in the fourth, because Pluto's transiting Aquarius in the fourth right now. Right now, it's actually square by degree, or right about now. So the next few days, maybe a week or so. Mm-hmm. We can feel that effect.
Yikes.
And that means like it could be like, it could be just all out brawls, especially in home and family. So just be careful of that, and potentially maybe acting too quickly and that kind of stuff. Hey, this isn't a fucking astrology program.
I think it's always good advice though for people to just pause and think things through and like don't get drawn into arguments, even though it feels really, really satisfying to do it. Just don't.
Yeah. Totally.
That's the weather forecast for this week. Kindly DiCaprio is asking, when you were a teacher, did you have a favorite student or students?
Yeah, I sure did.
You did?
Yeah, for every semester for sure.
Do you remember why you liked them so much?
Yeah, I mean, because they loved movies. Typically, was their first attraction. Was that they were like genuinely there because they loved movies and they wanted to make them. So. But yeah, I had favorite students. It didn't change the way I didn't teach any differently in terms of.
Yeah, it wasn't like favoritism.
No. I just look. I had some really shitty ones too, who were like mean, like straight up mean girls. In my last semester that I taught in, I was like, I had enough of it. Like these girls were just straight up mean, and I was like, why did you take this class?
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
Class for? What are you doing here if you're miserable?
Why are you here?
This isn't high school. You're not forced to be here.
No,
you chose to.
You fucking signed up for this shit. You paid for it.
It's weird.
What are you doing here? What is this for?
Yeah.
It was always the most baffling thing about the bad students, The good students are like there with their fucking, eyes wide and they're ready to learn. They want to tear it up. But and they're paying for it. They got loans, they got whatever else. Oh God, the most horrifying thing ever from one of my favorite students was at the end of the semester, and she asked to see me in my office, and I said sure. And so after class kind of thing. So I went down to my office and I met her after class, and she looked at me and tears just filled up in her eyes, and she goes, "I don't know what I'm gonna do."
Oh no.
What am I gonna do? I have all this debt and I don't know what I'm gonna do. What do I do? And I was like, get on a set. Just get on a set. If you want to get into movies, just get on a fucking set and find your way. You just got to go find your way and get on a set. That's all I can tell you. And I understand why she's like, but how am I going to pay for my loans? And I was like, you just have to tell them to wait, get on a set. That's all I can tell you. But her terror, the terror in her eyes, it was as if she was looking at death itself across from her. And it was me with this like a deer caught in headlights, because I was like, oh my God, how can I help you? This is as terrifying for you as it is for me at this moment.
Well, what sucks is that nobody prepared her for that to be everybody's very predictable question at that time in their life. Like, yes, this is the stage you're in.
But it was the debt. Like, it was the pressure of the debt.
Yeah.
Like, the whole thing was, holy fuck, I have all this debt and I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, I think the idea was reasonably probably that they probably went began as a freshman saying, okay, I'm just going to incur all this debt, but by then I'm going to have this degree in this path.
See, this is the thing, is she's just been misled.
Totally.
The best advice for somebody like that is just like, well, you're never going to pay it off, so don't worry about that.
Signing up for my class didn't help, by the way.
Now start doing what you want to do.
Like signing up for a pie in the sky kind of class, which is, like film and being a filmmaker is something that you have to be. It's not something, I believe that. I think it's something it's discovered in yourself. It's something you have to be. It's something that aches inside of you. It's because it's not like a good career choice. Like, it's definitely not, you know what I mean? It can be, it can work out great. And that's why I think it has to be so meaningful. It has to be so deeply entwined with your soul.
Yeah, I think
because you have to be willing to make the superior sacrifices that you're going to be faced with inevitably in order to even get the chance, let alone to capitalize on it.
I think that's the way for all artist careers,
Yeah, I think you're right.
Like,
by the way, Kindly DiCaprio, I have one thing to say about Kindly DiCaprio, who was asking about making films and was asking about light yesterday. And it just occurred to me today. I'm so glad you're here. And I just remembered. Think about Dogma 95. You could even come up with your own kind of version of Dogma 95. It's not a thing anymore. Look up Dogma 95, which was started by Lars von Trier and Vinterberg and a couple of others. Go look it up.
Specifically, it's spelled Dogme, because you might get search results for the movie Dogma and not Dogma 95.
Let's see if you can see this, but this is a book about it. Dogma 95. Dogma 95 uses natural light. So basically, you would be making your movie using, at most, bounce boards. So look it up, and you might be able to just like say goodbye to light altogether and just figure out and then you would be doing your scene designs. Your thoughts would be working with natural light. So you'd be looking for opportunities to be in bright light, or you would also be looking at things like embracing the noise. And something I forgot to tell you guys about Collateral, that was one of my favorite things. It was Michael Mann's look, especially at the beginning of the movie. He can sometimes lose me in the way in which he plays with looks, particularly color. But in the beginning of Collateral, he opened up with this gorgeous, really natural noise on these really dark night shots that were just colored to perfection. It was absolutely fucking stunning.
Oh, another super fun thing about the opening of Collateral is there's a cameo where Jason Statham is playing the transporter.
Yeah, he bumps into Tom Cruise.
Which he plays in a bunch of other movies.
So work with natural light. Work with natural light. That's my fucking advice. Absolutely.
It's super fun.
Yeah. I thank you for indulging me, everyone. I needed to get that off because, yeah, she's gonna make a movie, dude.
Delica said that Taylor Swift has several stalkers, and I don't know if they're using this as an excuse for stalking her.
Well, this is why he's lucky that he got out of there, unharmed.
I know.
This woman's,
I know, dude.
And this is why, by the way,
she has like turbo security. What are you doing?
Well, this is what I was talking about earlier when I said, Taylor Swift, you don't have access to her.
No.
She's not accessible. She can't be accessible because she's under constant threat, and she'll always be. She'll always have people You know, it's the weirdest thing when you get to those levels of fame where you just have people who absolutely hate you. I hope we never come anywhere close to anything. I just want to be a nice little live where like maybe there's like 2 people in the world that hate me. And they still show up every day to express it.
Yeah, Delicate saying, this is the narrative the Swifties are using to hate Blake, that it's her fault for bringing Taylor into it. I don't know why Swifties are pushing this. My suspicion is that it's not Swifties, that it's bot farms trying to manipulate Swifties. Because I know that, I know you guys remember that that the package that they were trying to charge Wayfair for all of this social combat plan by Melissa Nathan and Jed Wallace. It was an extra $5,000 to deal with the Swifties. So an extra $5,000 a month is going directly to infiltrating.
You want fucking pickles or no pickles?
Yeah, I know. God. And so it's like it's part of the plan to infiltrate that community with bad news about Blake Lively.
Yeah, listen, I mean, the only way that Taylor Swift would be upset with Blake Lively over any of this is if Blake Lively did not tell her that Justin Baldoni, did not tell her that Justin Baldoni was a dick.
Oh, Delicate saying also Travis and Taylor's house in Kansas City is a gated community.
Of course it is. Travis Kelce does not live in like, you know, at the corner, you know? I was over at the community mailbox and Trav was there. I was like, what's up, Trav? I have to look up to him. Because he's so tall. But I also look up to him as a guy, don't you? No, he's a fucking mega. The guy is worth like $80 million himself. He's a football player. He's worth almost $100 million. Do you know what I mean? The guy's not like. He's also to a certain extent, especially in Kansas City. Is that where he is right now?
Yeah.
Is that where? So in Kansas City, he's gonna be fucking. You know, he's a practical god there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? What kind of god would he be if he was a god? He's in Kansas City. He's a god. What god is he? Is he Thor? Who is he? Is he Thunder?
No, like Adonis or something, right? Like
Adonis?
I don't know.
Really, Adonis, huh?
I don't know. I mean, I'm actually, I talk a lot of shit, but I actually am very ignorant about the.
You're not good with your gods?
No, I mean, like I'm starting to learn the ones that reference the planets, right? And then I'm starting to learn a little bit more of the ones that are referenced by all the witchy accounts on TikTok, you know?
Yeah.
But like all of the Greek gods, I mean, there's like fucking 6 of them. Like, how do you keep them straight? I don't know. What's your answer to that, smart guy?
I went with Thor right out of the gate.
You think that's the one? That's the answer?
Is he a god, Thor?
Yes.
Yeah, I think Thor. I mean, you could go like, I mean, I'm not going to give him Zeus because he can't, he already admitted that he can't read. Or doesn't read well, so you can't be Zeus and not read well.
Yeah, you can't be Apollo if he's like.
Yeah, you can't be Apollo. But Thor,
but it's not like he's not smart. He's just
he's very smart. I didn't say he's not smart.
Dyslexic or something? Is that his problem?
Yeah, I think it is.
I have that with.
But either way, that's a weakness, and no,
I have that with numbers.
It's not a weakness. I'm totally.
I actually super struggle to like read out numbers.
I have dyslexia. I do. Yeah.
No way, really?
Yeah, it's mild, but I have it. Yeah, it's mild.
How does it show up?
Oh, I'll fuck things up. Numbers normally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a different word for that. It's not dyslexia because.
Okay. Well, I have it. All right.
Like,
I just don't want to talk about it.
You don't want to talk about it?
It makes me feel bad.
Like if somebody's like, "Hey, what's the phone number?" I'll like really struggle to like read it and speak it properly, you know?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I have to check it like 6 times because I'm not sure I did it right.
Alex,
Is that what happens to you?
Yes, exactly that.
Yeah.
And like especially math, like when I'm like actually doing math, and I'm actually reasonably good at math, basic math, but I'm actually horrible at things like algebra. Don't even get me started.
It just takes practice, I think.
Alex said that my book was surprisingly uplifting at the end, considering everything was kind of ruined. And as soon as I read that, I was like, I wasn't going to leave you hanging, bro. You know, I was like, I'm not going to like break you all up and then just leave you there like dangling like I was. Well, I'm glad because I wanted the book to be certainly uplifting. So I'm glad it worked, even in the face of such a mess, such a horrible mess.
Well, we continue,
Yeah,
that's all you can do.
And I still feel uplifted, even on my bad days, by, look, I mean, I feel like I lived my life right. You know what I mean? So like, it's not perfect. I don't live my life perfect, nowhere close to perfect, but I just never lied, cheated, or stole from anyone, nor ever, intentionally harmed anyone. I've made some mistakes that I think, I've talked about it, that you can talk about them in the book, that I think did hurt some people, but, they were mistakes never meant to harm a soul, despite the fact that, my foolery, created damage. I think we all have some of this in our lives. at some point in our lives. And if we don't, then I'm so immensely proud of anyone who was able to get through life without ever, scarring a soul. I've tried my best to do that, but mostly I've just tried to always improve and become better. And I think that's what a lot of the end of the book is supposed to feel like, is like, we're just getting better. We're always just getting better and smarter and growing. I don't know. I'm so glad you enjoyed the book, and I'm so glad that I'm assuming you enjoyed it since you came by here. You could, however, have not, and then maybe throw something at me digitally, throw some pie at me, pie in the face. But I am so grateful that you read it. It's really great.
Hinata brought up Baldoni's lawyers' opposition to Rule 47.1, which is Blake Lively is seeking attorney's fees, treble damages.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah. What about it?
They said that Hinata said that it was embarrassing. I can't believe a lawyer would raise unconstitutionalities in such a poor motion.
Really? I didn't read it.
Yeah. So I read a little bit of this today.
I just didn't get to it today.
It's super.
Did you read it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I read the introduction. The rest of it is just arguing law. They're making some interesting points, but I don't know if they're going to stick. Like, for instance, they say that it's a new California law. So they're arguing jurisdiction. They said that all of the harassment allegations occurred in New York or New Jersey on the film set. But it's like, Wayfair is a California corporation.
Yeah.
And the people who were conducting the publicity that did the retaliating, they were in California.
No, and the nature of the business is location shooting or going to other places to work. So, like, for example, you would still want to hold Wayfair responsible in the state of California if they shot in Canada.
Yeah, and the parties
you wouldn't fucking sue them in fucking Vancouver.
No, it's true. And the parties who
I didn't have to swear so much there.
I think you're forgiven. The parties who directed the retaliation campaign against Blake Lively reside in California, so that's kind of bullshit. But also, I thought this was really interesting. They were like, it hasn't been constitutionally tested because it's a new law, and so they're saying that the lawmakers screwed up by having this law in the first place because it impedes on the accused's First Amendment right and their Fourth Amendment right to, to file a lawsuit as they wish. If any lawsuit against what they perceive as wrongdoing against them is going to be seen by the court as retaliation, then that impedes on their constitutional rights.
So they're challenging the California law.
Yes, through this.
Well, right. If you want to spend $100 million trying to make Blake Lively look bad, then go and take on the law.
Here's what's really
interesting.
State
of California.
So I don't know if you guys remember, but when Blake Lively had a bunch of people were filing a motion to dismiss Justin Baldoni's lawsuit. And there were a ton of organizations that came out and backed Blake Lively's motion to dismiss.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I do.
And it was a bunch of like victims advocacy organizations and like anti-abuse organizations, all of these amazing, really active, prominent organizations. And their reason was because they're saying that what Baldoni was doing was challenging the law in order to get this law struck, like thrown off the books or whatever, like that it was really damaging, that they were trying to set a precedent to prevail in defiance of this anti-retaliation law. Well, here they are taking a very firm stance against those people, saying, yes, absolutely, that is what we're trying to do. They're saying in this today, Baldoni's side is that, we absolutely don't think that law should exist, and we don't think it's fair, and we want it gone. And all those organizations, like, when they were complaining about those motions filed by all of these non-party organizations, they were saying it was like hyperbole and like, oh my God, these people are just like sticking their nose where it doesn't belong and blaming us for things we haven't done. Well, here they did it. Congratulations, guys. You are exactly who we thought you would be.
It's so crazy and it's so blatant also. It's like just right there, it's staring at us in our faces, and it's just weird that people want to turn away from it, or that people want to reconstruct it completely, like deconstruct and reconstruct it, whatever it might be, whether it's just, aspects of or.
No, I know they can't change the facts of the case. Justin Baldoni admits that SH occurred. Justin Baldoni himself admits that she complained about it. Those are legally recognized complaints for SH.
The real problem that he has is that, if there wasn't any retaliation, then the veracity of her complaint, or actually the severity of it, wouldn't even be the veracity of it, would be the severity of it.
She wouldn't have a lawsuit without retaliation. That's why she names all of those labor laws.
She would not have a lawsuit without
No,
retaliation.
he brought it on himself. It's really
Yeah.
crazy.
I mean, it was the retaliation that brought the whole thing on. The SH was a complaint that didn't get addressed correctly or whatever, and that has to meet certain CRD standards in terms of severity for it to be a matter for litigation.
Yeah.
And hers probably wouldn't have qualified for that. The fuck up is the retaliation. That's all this is about. This whole thing is about, hey, I said you were fucking inappropriate, and instead of dealing with that, you fucking tried to destroy me.
And there's evidence of him saying it.
And there's evidence of him saying it, but it doesn't, like, all I'm saying is, like, the fucking SH is not the relevant issue here, but for the fact that it occurred according to her, and she filed a complaint, and according to them, they heard that complaint, and even to at least some degree in their own mind, addressed it.
So with that said, the fact that, like, it's super interesting that they're taking this stance, and I want to read this part to you guys, but, like, keep in mind that these things are not refuted by both sides. They are not, these are factual, these are truths that are not denied. That Baldoni admits SH occurred on his set, and he admits that she complained about it as it happened, okay? So here in the introduction, they're saying, let's see, let me skip. For the second time, Plaintiff Blake Lively seeks draconian relief under a new California statute.
Draconian is so...
I know. I had to skip to the bottom. I was like, oh, did Friedman write this? And no, it's Garofalo. Section 47.1 authorizes an award of reasonable attorney's fees, treble damages, and punitive damages for a failed defamation claim against a party asserting sexual harassment claims without malice and with a reasonable basis to file a complaint of SH or discrimination. Thus, and this is the part I wanted to bring up, whether the privilege and remedies afforded by the law turn not on the Wayfarer party's underlying conduct, but on Lively's motive and intent. In other words, whether Lively asserted the claims without malice and with a reasonable basis, and these are factual issues that remain to be tried in the main case. So they're saying it's premature to decide on this now. The case should be tried before this is even considered.
They're wrong because their case was already thrown out. So,
that's true.
So I guess to the extent that that whether or not there is grounds for retaliation, or that there's a finding of retaliation.
They might win on that part, though, where the judge is like, okay, I'm going to kick this can down the road.
Right.
This is still up in the air, so this is not something that we're deciding or not deciding.
It makes sense to me because, like, if they're not liable in the end, if by some miracle,
right,
miracle, they come out of this thing ahead, and they end up defending her, then they wouldn't be held accountable for retaliation because it would be fallacy.
But the thing that I thought was so interesting is, like, they're always fucking pulling these Darvo tactics, you know, the, like, reverse victim of offender. Whether the privilege and remedies afforded by the law apply turn not on Wayfarer party's underlying conduct, because we don't want you to look at that. We want you to look at this shiny key instead, Lively's motive and intent. So whether she asserted the claims without malice and with a reasonable basis. Well, we know she asserted the claims on the reasonable basis because your own fucking idiot client admitted it in the filing. Okay? And we know that it was without malice because malice it requires it to be false, right?
Yeah.
So, like, defamation, for instance, like, you can say, you can tell an uncomfortable truth about somebody.
It doesn't have to be limited to that, but it definitely has that as a foundation.
I think it must. Because you can't say that you told the truth with malice. You would never get in trouble for that. You could be like, this fucker did this thing to me. I'm speaking truthfully, and I fucking hate him for it.
No,
like, that's me telling the story with malice.
No, you can definitely take facts and use them maliciously against people. For example, it could be facts that would have no basis or foundation for being introduced into a situation. I don't want to go down this path with you but I did read about it, and I know that you can say things that are true about me that can still fall under these categories because they don't because because you're saying them with the intent to cause harm from them, and they don't have relevance.
Well, I know you don't want to go down this path with me, but I want to stick on this topic for a little bit if I can.
Okay.
I was just thinking that malice is so interesting because, like, for instance, if I'm being accused of defamation and I shared something that is false about somebody, but I didn't know that I was sharing it falsely. I wasn't doing it like intentionally. I thought that was the malice standard. So that if I know it's false and I spread it with intent to harm that person's reputation, then that's the malice standard.
Let's look it up. You might be right. It's definitely worth looking up, I think.
Because I just assumed it meant more legally than it does when we're just using the word malice, like, in conversation like we do, Nobody uses the word malice. Do they?
I don't know. Yeah.
Malice and forethought. Isn't that a thing? So what does it say?
It's a legal requirement in the U.S. defamation law that a public official or public figure must prove to win a liable case of slander. Defining actual malice. Actual malice is not the same as common law malice, which refers to ill will or an intent to harm. Instead, it refers to the defendant's attitude toward the truth of a statement. A public plaintiff must prove with clear and convincing evidence that a false defamatory statement was made with one of two subjective mental states. So it says false and defamatory.
That's weird.
Knowledge of falsity.
Yes.
So the defendant knew the statement was false when it was published. Reckless disregard for the truth. The defendant had serious doubts about the truth of the statement, but published it anyway.
And so that's malice?
It's a very interesting thing right there.
Okay, okay, great. So none of the statements that she's making are false.
No.
It's weird. She has evidence of all of this. And when she doesn't have evidence, the defendants have provided admissions. Like, what is this case? Why are we still doing this?
Well, it goes to the judge. There's no ruling. It's not like there's any, it's crazy
they're fighting instead of just waiting for their fucking court date to show up. Another thing that was interesting in this filing is that we have a big redacted.
You don't make money doing it that way.
Oh, I know. You can't drain Steve Sarowitz dry
you can't bill quarter hours on the toilet.
We have a big redacted block here. So apparently there is testimony that they don't want us to see, but that they have. So this is Baldoni's agent at William Morris Endeavor, Danny Greenberg. He testified something that's redacted. It's like 4 lines. And this is referenced. This is number 2, footnote 2. The factual basis that remains to be tried in the case regarding whether Lively asserted the claims without malice and with a reasonable basis. So apparently Baldoni's former agent has something to say about that. I don't know.
All right.
That would be that's an interesting thing to me because I'm still very curious about what Baldoni's defense could possibly be. I guess his defense is shaping up to be, I thought that she was being super mean about it. So I filed a lawsuit because yes, I did the things that I admitted to in my court filing. And yes, she was totally reasonable to be upset about those things. But then when she told everybody about it, she was being super mean.
It wouldn't even matter that he said whether or not he says he did them or not. It was that she complained about it is all that matters. Like
but she complained about it to the set. Oh, she does. He hates that she complained publicly. That's the issue.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course. Yeah, and he didn't want anything out publicly. Nobody would. Then don't do it. Especially to a public figure. I mean, what do you fucking think is going to happen?
Yeah, you made your bed, bro. Sorry.
You got to lie in it.
Yep. You got to scale Taylor Swift's gates about it. Yeah, so I'm looking for other redacted things. This is a short filing. It's they're citing a lot of law. They're saying that this California law shouldn't apply to them because, various reasons. Oh, they also think that it's really extreme. So they're challenging the California law, saying treble damages and punitive damages and attorney's fees is like a lot.
Hey, we should be allowed
to
break the law.
We should be able to do a little retaliation
without so much consequences.
Yeah. Why so much consequences?
Like, this is too much. Come on. Like, fine us or whatever.
I only had a small bite of retaliation. Okay. It wasn't like a lot.
What are you going to do? Impound my car next? Jeez.
Yeah, they're insane.
Let me answer this question from, where is it? Alex. It's a Don Spunk question. Can I answer it?
Yes.
My question, I guess, would be, would you trade Don's Plum, asks Alex, in exchange for the falling out to have never happened? Would I trade Don's Plum in exchange for the falling out to have never happened?
Yeah, like if you never made Don's Plum.
I don't think so. No. I think that the most horrible thing, and I think this is a part of why this thing has torn such a hole in me, is because this movie was the beginning of an identity for me as an artist. It was an experiment that I knew I wanted, that I embraced, and that I succeeded with. And I knew that I'd only scratched the surface.
It's true. You succeeded. You really did. Like, you really succeeded at making an extremely unique, very adventurous, experimental film
Yep.
in the 90s that everyone noticed.
Yes.
And it had a bunch of up and coming stars in it.
To boot.
Like, there's no reason why you should have ever wanted to take that back.
I couldn't, because it's like, it really is a part of my identity. Like, it defined me. These were moments that defined me as a person, but also like, it's where I found myself as an artist. I had been fledgling all along. I had been writing poems. I'd been writing short stories. I'd been doing stand-up comedy. I was the lead singer in a fucking heavy metal band. I mean, I was constantly looking for where I belonged, knowing full well that I belonged somewhere in this world of expression. And it wasn't until, meeting Jeff Goldblum and then I was like, oh, okay, well then it's acting. And that was always, as a comedian, in the back of my mind, that I was going to be on a sitcom, or that I was, something like this. This was the, sort of the next step. It was everybody's next step, I think, in comedy, most at least. So, so when the opportunity opened up to get to Los Angeles, and then to, and then as that parlayed into Don's Plum and the true discovery of who I was, and how those things from my past, all that improv comedy and all that writing and just all these things that I had prepared for, just it all came together in this perfect moment that was a part of my identity, and that I was going to be this going forward. This is who I was, and I knew that. And it wasn't something I had to be. Like, it wasn't a brand I had to make, it wasn't a patch I had to sew onto a trucker hat. It was something practically genetic. It was amazing. And so I would never want to turn that away. It'd be sort of like saying, would you, like, in a bad divorce, would you rather have avoided the marriage and not had the child? Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah,
it's also like,
I'd rather take the kid in the bad marriage, I'm sure.
It wasn't until you began making Don's Plum that you discovered who you are and what you wanted to be.
Unless your kid is Kevin.
So if you, I'm saying, if you had never started making it, then you might still be searching for that answer.
Well, and I think, I can't possibly speculate, but it would feel like it would be like a fruitless search, because so much had to come together in this like moment, like this lightning in a bottle. I mean, it was lightning in a bottle, dude. This is fucking lightning in a bottle. Leonardo DiCaprio, Tobey Maguire, Jeremy Sisto, Jenny Lewis, Ethan Suplee. I mean, lightning in a fucking bottle, man. This is, and so, yeah, I would never turn away from lightning in a bottle. Once in a lifetime experiences, you gotta take them. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't.
It's a little weird that you're talking about lightning this soon after such a horrible tragedy. It's a little too soon.
Lightning?
Didn't you? I read you that headline. There were two.
Oh shit!
There were two friends who were on a hiking trip. Sorry, not hiking. They were hunters, and they were like outdoorsmen. So like when they went missing, people were like, okay, well, something bad must have happened. Like,
they got guns. They got know-how.
Yeah, like these guys have been outdoors their whole life. Like they're not going to put themselves in a dangerous situation.
Right.
So they found them, and they didn't know what happened to them, but they had both passed away out in the wilderness. And the coroner just finalized their report that they were both struck by lightning, and they died. 2 dudes killed by lightning.
They didn't have a bottle.
That's the issue. They didn't have their
lightning. So weird, right? You get these 2 guys that die, and then you got that, like, do you ever hear about that one guy, like, he got like electrocuted 17 times or something? Like, it was like a ridiculous amount of time. He was
like he kept getting struck by lightning?
Yeah, like he just show up to work smoking.
He was like a lightning rod. Yeah.
He just show up, was like,
I think is that
Manny? Manny, I think you got struck by lightning again.
You're sizzling again.
This is a new jacket.
I just didn't think that happened. You know, like you hear about the risk of that happening, but I didn't think it actually happened. That's pretty crazy. Anyway, I was trying to make a joke about that, and it did not land, and I really regret it.
You want to take it back?
Yes.
Are you going to think about it?
I do.
We're going to be like sitting watching TV, and you're going to be like, and be like, what? And you'll be like, I shouldn't have tried. I shouldn't have tried that.
I can't believe I was joking about dead guys. That's so mean.
Stupid, bad opportunity.
It's a really, really unique way to die. I feel like that's something worth commenting on, but maybe not making jokes about.
Well, you can make a joke about guys being struck by lightning that you don't know. It's obviously not, you're not joking about them dying.
No, I think it's a horrible thing to happen.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And it's terrible. It's tragic, of course.
Also, like when you're outdoors and there's a lightning
I wonder if the
storm,
animals were like...
right, because they were out hunting?
Yeah, they're all like walking around. They're like, hem fuckers,
like,
you know, everyone's all hiding. They're like...
That's what you get.
Yeah, they're like walking by. They're like, uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Like cooking and eating them? Oh, terrible.
Baywatch is coming back. Cosmic Urgency is making an announcement. It's official.
What? Nobody is asking for that. Nobody
Pam
wants that.
Anderson.
Oh my God.
She's not doing it. She's not doing it.
Nobody's asking for this.
Baywatch is coming back. What are you talking about? Now you're making me look things up in the middle of a live. Damn you to hell.
Hey, did you hear this thing? Hinata?
Baywatch reboot gets series greenlight by Fox for 26-27 season 9 hours ago. Boy, am I like how is this not news? I gotta check all my outlets.
Well, that's so weird.
I need sources. Cosmic Urgency, call me. You're gonna be fucking. You gotta send me an email, bro. Let me send you a book and shit.
No, because Cosmic Urgency is incognito. Like definitely somebody else posing annonously. You know.
He knows me, huh?
Yeah, it's probably a
Cosmic
celebrity.
Urgency is like somebody who knows me. Yeah. What do you think, Lisa? New Baywatch series. I'm amazed. Okay. Well, I don't know who's in it yet. I'm trying to find out. What are you saying, Angela?
Hinata just pointed this out. Said,
oh my God, I just clicked on Good Morning America's website. Why would I do that?
Dale, listen.
I've never done it in my life. What?
Hinata, it brought this up.
Yes.
And I read this someplace else. Apparently, the guy who was arrested for stalking Taylor Swift,
yes,
who like had been trespassing before, apparently that guy is missing. Like on the loose. Like nobody can locate him.
A former stalker of Taylor Swift is loose?
Who had trespassed before and got arrested. And I guess he's like, the authorities lost track of him somehow.
So
as this thing is happening, where this process server is, being a stalker. Isn't that scary?
Yes. That's I can't even believe it.
So he's lucky he survived, because for sure her security is on high alert.
It's got to be so weird, because even though you have security,
yeah,
you got to be just terrified even so, right?
Yeah, you're like, how do you get up over the wall?
You saw it at the Chiefs game. She was behind, bulletproof, like whatever. I mean, that must have been 10 feet high, or higher. That shield. It was so high.
But I saw that. You didn't see the beginning where they rolled it out before she showed up?
Okay.
It was actually a really interesting thing. They just had it like in the storeroom or something. But it's on these wheels, and it expands. So it's like the wheels expand so that it's on two wheels at either end. But it folds up completely, so it's like really narrow. And then you can just roll it into storage.
Yeah, I mean, it's a wall.
Yeah.
But still, it's just this big wall that she had to be hidden behind.
Yeah.
For safety.
And I think maybe it's because of what Hinata's saying, that her stalker is on the loose. That's fucking crazy. I didn't know that.
The stalker claimed that Taylor had his baby. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I just don't. Oh my God.
That's so delusional.
I would lose it. Like, I would just be, fuck. This is like the fame thing, man. People don't understand. Like, this is why people who want to reach for fame, it's just so ridiculous.
You don't want it.
Like, if you don't have a purpose for what you're doing in the public eye, you should not fucking do it. Like, if it's not because you're expressing yourself as an artist, or if it's not because you've got some commentary you want to get out, like mine. Dr. Susan is here. What's up, Dr. Susan?
Oh, sweet.
Good to see you.
Lee is asking, has anyone been watching the alien comet headed toward Earth?
Well,
not now, Lee.
I know.
Not now.
It's fucking crazy,
Too
though.
many things.
The whole world, bro, is...
No, we know about it. We are not paying attention to that because there's too much else going on.
It's true. There's a fucking alien comet that's heading toward
Wait a second.
Earth.
What do you mean alien comet? Every comet is alien.
It has aliens on it. They've got pictures. They got.
No, they don't.
No, okay. Maybe not.
Yes, it's an alien.
They're like sitting there smoking
Comets
alien
don't come
cigars.
from here.
We're coming. Put on the coffee. They're all alien comets.
And ain't nobody got time for comments, bro.
Ain't nobody got time for comets. Or
Yeah, Cosmic Urgency said, alien comet. What comet isn't alien?
they're all. I know it's like people are like, 4 billion year old water. I'm like, well, okay. How old's the water in the Pacific Ocean? For example?
Like I had like such a crisis. It like took me a week to recover from the information when I learned in like elementary science class or whatever that there is no new water. There's no new water.
There's no new water.
That all of the water that we have now,
Is
like
here.
the water on your desk right now,
Yeah.
was around since before the dinosaurs.
This is all the same
This
water.
water rained on top of a dinosaur's head and then got, put back in the water cycle, and then somehow it ends up in your cup.
It gets frozen. It gets melted. So on and so forth. But it's all the same water. It's the planet's water.
That water, mammoth urine, you don't know what it all did.
It's like holding a piece of rock and going, this rock is 4 billion years old. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. That tracks.
I know,
with
it's crazy.
The age of the planet.
Can't think
Anyway,
about it
it's
too
kind of
much.
funny.
Lee is defending himself, said, or is Lee, am I misgendering Lee?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Said, it's from another galaxy. Duh.
That's wild.
Of course it's alien.
Well, that's very wild. It is. Where's it from? Andromeda? Galaxies, man. It's so crazy. We're so small. We are the microscopic.
Yeah.
We are that.
And we're like little parasites.
Yeah. I mean, we are a part of the microscopic class. We're not the big ones. We're the little ones. It's amazing to look at Earth when you see those pictures, that Carl Sagan, the famous Carl Sagan moment, where he's looking at the little blue dot.
Oh, the little blue dot. Yeah.
But when you look at that and you see it's with this one thing, it's just this one thing. And then you think about the one things that you see with your eyes.
Yeah. Like, oh, that guy's road raging.
Like a drop of water. Like a drop of water. Like, wasn't that a great day in the science class? You guys did that, right? When you looked under a drop of water under a microscope, you see the drop of water. It's just a drop of water. You put that shit under a microscope. Holy motherfucker, it's an entire world. We're the microscopic. Mm-hmm. We're just the little knickerknackers.
We're like sea bears.
Yeah. And we can talk. And they'll be surprised when they find out we can talk. By they, I mean the bigger in this whole... Everything's...
But then, like, are we super primitive, too? Because the telepathy tapes are saying that there's this whole other way to talk that we're completely ignoring or unable to participate in.
Yeah, I mean, we're constantly evolving. So then to that extent, yes. We're
Like, I'm
always
like
from
a
one minute
primitive
to the
being
next.
because I don't do telepathy, is what I'm saying.
Well, you haven't, whatever. Well, the thing about that is it's kind of a tricky question because telepathy and these kinds of things are going to be things that are accessible to all. So it's more of like an exercise. It's like, for example, I can't lift a lot of heavy weight right now because I haven't worked out in 5 fucking years. Right.
Oh, so it's like
But when I was lifting weight, I could lift a significant amount of weight.
Right. So I got to practice. I got to exercise my telepathy muscles.
Yeah, you got to exercise it. You got to exercise. It's just like it's through meditation, through there. You can actually look it up, and there are probably people who have programs. Join my telepathy discovery program for a quick $199 in 6 months and 8 straight hours.
It wouldn't be $199 either. It'd be like $699.
Yeah. Well, it was $199 6 weeks ago, but everyone's like, "Are we just raising prices? That's what we're doing."
Everybody is just raising prices.
66 to 80% higher. Okay, great.
Oh, this is so sweet. Kindly DiCaprio said, "You would have been my favorite teacher of all, I think."
I think I was a good teacher, man. My students loved me, man. Most of them.
Yeah. Like, I think it really goes a long way when you're enthusiastic and you want to be there and you want to engage with them,
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of teachers who were just like so burnt out, and it shows.
I'm really excited for Kindly DiCaprio because she's making a movie and she had a lighting problem, and this problem is solved. You just have to embrace. But here's the reason why I think you should embrace the Dogma 95 process, because this way it's sort of like it's all kind of complementary. So if you're sitting there and you're saying, okay, I'm going to embrace source light then you should also embrace maybe source sound, for example. So that means you're not going to actually put score. Instead, everything that's going to be musical will be in the movie itself. Don't fuck with copyright. That means it has to be all original stuff that you have.
Oh yeah, Dogma 95 is so great. It's like, it's such a brilliant concept because they're like, you have very real limitations, but within those limitations, you get to be as creative as you want to be. And I just think that that's such
well, it'll actually like literally provoke creativity where, you know, you probably would have just walked right past.
Yeah. It also has like it sort of has like a cleansing effect on your artistry because I think everybody can relate that when your choices are narrowed, you have much better clarity about your direction. So if you're thinking about like, if you can make a movie just like any of these $300 million movies, you know, so many choices, you could do literally everything. I don't know how anybody gets anything done. But if you have the tiniest of tiniest budgets and you know that you can't do a soundtrack and you know that you can't do any fake lighting or anything, well, all of a sudden all those choices have been made for you. So now your creativity has this nice, narrow, clean path to be conducted across.
I would call it elaborate lighting. Fake lighting feels...
Fake lighting meaning not practical lighting. Like, you know, like you throw up a...
Set lights, yeah, absolutely.
Set lights, exactly.
Yep, using set lights versus using natural lights.
What do you mean?
Don't put fake...
It's fake lighting.
Fake has got stigma.
You're lighting
now.
a living room with a fucking, like a C-stand and some set lights.
The word
That's
fake, it just has a stigma now.
Does it?
It's got stigma.
Oh, okay. Felbaumling has more information for us about that comet, which I had never... Okay.
He and I... Felbaumling and I are the same age.
Okay, so everybody's talking about the fucking rapture, but nobody's talking about the comet. Maybe that's why they're all talking about the rapture, because they just cannot cope with the fact there's a comet.
I totally forgot about the rapture until I woke up, and then until you said something. I think it was just I completely forgot about it because as soon as I hear about it, I'm like, I got to get on with my day. And by the way, if I wake up and I see a bunch of people getting pulled up into the sky, I'm gonna be like, okay, this is some fucking weird shit, and you know, I'll just have to deal with it if I'm the guy left behind. Obviously, I still gotta go grocery shopping. I hope they're open. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, are we still eating food? What are we doing here? You know what I mean? Like, what's going on?
Felbaumling said, yeah, about that comet. I think people are trying to cash in on the odd nature of the tail. If it's really old piece of rock, it explains why the tail is green off gassing. It's a certain gas. That's crazy. So
yeah, and it is going to get relatively close to us. It's going to be pretty exciting. I don't know when it's supposed to get here. Any minute.
I know. I got to look it up now. Lee said you should type this in. It's 3I Atlas is the official name
of the comet.
Yeah.
I hope Jeff Bezos goes and tries to catch a ride on it. 3I Atlas.
Yeah.
Comet 3I Atlas in the news. Comet, this is 2 weeks ago. Comet or alien spaceship. An astrophysicist explains what we know about the interstellar traveler 3I Atlas. Confirmed as a comet, 3I Atlas is one of only 3 interstellar objects we've detected entering our solar system. Northeastern's Jacqueline McCleary breaks down what makes it special and what we can learn from it. Anyway, it's got a big long green tail, and it's going to be neat when... I don't know when it's going to come here.
Just in time for spooky season.
See if I can scroll to it.
Thank you, Deacon. Deacon clarified what we're describing. Dyslexia with numbers is called dyscalculia.
Dyscalculia?
I don't know how to pronounce
dyscalculia. It sounds like an elaborate last
thing.
name.
Huh?
It sounds like an elaborate last name. Well, I have that. I can fuck up numbers pretty bad.
Jeremy Wright says, I wish I could have seen Dale's infamous pineapple shirt.
Oh, yeah. It was hideous. It was so bad, I can't believe I wore it. I really can't believe I wore it.
I wish you could recreate it somehow. I know that there's a bunch of, it's probably expensive as shit, but you could, get fabric printed and then, find a pattern and, recreate it.
This is as close as the color and the tiny pineapples.
Dale designed this specifically to resemble his shirt.
As I could recreate in
And the pineapples
Canva.
were, pineapple colored?
Yes, they were golden pineapples.
What a weird shirt.
It was horrible. The pineapple. I don't think there were as many pineapples as this has, but it was such a bad shirt. I can't believe I wore it. I really can't. Meadow was brutal.
I like that scene. Alex said, Don's Plum is a timeless piece of media that I'm very fond of.
Thank you, Alex. That's the most exciting thing I think any filmmaker could ever hear, especially one who made a micro-budget film, because we had the world against us. We had the world up against us. I mean, we had the odds were stacked against us, I guess I should say. The world was fine. The world was just like not even paying attention.
Hanada's making such a good point. So, okay, Baldoni's lawyers, I just read some of the points that they were making against Blake Lively's motion for treble damages. Okay?
Yeah.
Hanada said that the only valid point of theirs is the personal jurisdiction, because they're saying it's a California law and everything was, the film was shot and they were located in New York when it happened, in New Jersey. But she says, oddly, Baldoni himself argued in favor of California jurisdiction, so it undermines his argument.
Well, and it wouldn't matter to me because...
This is true. When he tried to bring extortion claims against Blake Lively, he was saying that the California law should apply in this New York venue.
That's true.
So he can't have it both ways.
Well, he can't. And I mean, this is not uncommon though. As far as jurisdiction, and they'll talk out of both sides of their mouth.
Yeah, I know. But you can't argue for jurisdiction in your case. And then when she tries to pull up some California jurisdiction, say, no, it doesn't apply.
Why I think that it should be California law is because the company is a California company. And
yeah, that's the complaint they made.
As a production company, they can shoot anywhere. Like production companies always shoot outside of California.
So are they never liable under California law, even though they're incorporated there?
It's a major problem in California that they're trying to address, right? Which is they call them runaway productions. Oh. And the reason they're runaway productions is because their production companies are based in Los Angeles, but they're shooting in other countries and territories. So, are you saying that Justin Baldoni, if they shot in Vancouver, it would have been, a Canadian law issue? Like, if it was something criminal, maybe, but they have to be subject to some kind of law.
Yeah.
And they're a circus, they're a carnival. They go to different locations and they shoot at different locations. Sometimes they'll shoot in their hometown, but oftentimes they won't. In this case, they did not.
A scientist is saying the same thing. And Baldoni sued her for defamation using California law, which is what this law is trying to stop.
Yeah.
His extortion claims don't even exist in New York.
What's funny is because he's literally breaking California law by doing it.
Yeah.
Like that's
I know.
Like a direct violation of that law. And how can jurisdiction not apply if he's filing it as a Californian in a California court?
Hanada brings up a bunch of great points, so I'm just going to read these, okay?
Sure.
She says, all laws are published with a presumption of constitutionality. So if he wants to raise unconstitutionality, he has to go to the Supreme Court, and he's dragging his feet for 9 months already.
Right. Well, it looks like they're going to start sniffing up that way, but you're right.
Again, Renata said, the word salad. Baldoni argues he didn't file defamation with malice, but that's a very high bar Lively would have to prove. But the law 47-1 demands that Baldoni prove she accused him with malice. So all this explanation of how hard it is to prove malice goes against him. Because under 47-1, you need to prove the SH accusation was done with malice. And that part of their argument is a mess.
They'll never get that.
No, I know.
They'll never find malice in her reporting. And by the way, she did it all. Like, even if you wanted to, even if she was some kind of like, malicious, whatever, life wrecker. Even if she was that, she still did it correctly. She still set it up and executed it correctly.
He admits that she wasn't lying about it. There's more.
Exactly.
Hanada's bringing it tonight.
Come on.
That's the core point of 47-1. If you don't have proof of malice, you can't sue for defamation. You can't wait the whole trial. That would.
For the proof. Typo. Yeah.
That would defeat the whole purpose of the law.
Correct. You have to prove malice in. That makes perfect sense.
Waiting the whole trial for SH while the accuser has to defend itself on the defamation is the current status quo. That's what 47.1 wants to end. That's so interesting.
What is the current status quo again?
Well, in Blake Lively's motion for treble damages, they were saying we should decide this now because his case was dismissed already. And so that part has been decided.
Right. So
he should be these treble damages, attorney's fees, and what was the last one?
Whatever, it doesn't
Damage
matter.
it, whatever.
Yeah.
That they should be
Awarded now.
yeah, prior to the trial. I don't know what the judge is going to do about this. I can't make a prediction. I don't think they have very good arguments, but there is the one about waiting until the trial is decided that might be worthwhile to explore.
Well, it's very interesting because my question would be that if they're liable now, then why wouldn't there be a summary judgment?
Yeah, maybe there will be. I don't know. All Scientist is making a good point. The law isn't about her lawsuit. It's about his defamation lawsuit.
Correct.
He could have avoided this motion if they had sued for everything else but left defamation out of it.
That's so interesting. And so who's to blame for that?
I know.
Brian fucking Friedman.
Yeah.
He's the fucking lead attorney.
Oh, well, also, she cited
Let me tell you,
Sarowitz, too.
When we sued Leonardo DiCaprio, we didn't know what we were suing him for. We walked in and we were like, this guy did this shit. And then they told us what laws he broke, right?
Yeah.
Like tortious interference and these kinds of things, right? And then we fucking sued him for those things. We didn't know what they were. I mean, they read them to us and we're like, yeah, that,
Yeah.
Go get him.
No, I know. It must have been so amazing when Blake Lively had that meeting with her attorneys and they kept checking off the boxes like, yep, that's a law broken. Yep, that's a law broken.
Wow.
They really should have known that they were breaking all these laws. They're a giant business.
Pretty fucking amazing. Thank you for the likes, guys, by the way. I know I don't ask for them very often because I don't like to. I don't think anybody does. I think it's the worst thing that we have to degrade ourselves to do when we're making YouTube videos is being like, will you please give me a like? It just sounds so weird. It's kind of like getting ribbons. Do you ever in kindergarten or whatever participate in those their athletic games or whatever?
Yeah, like a field day or whatever.
It's like a field day, yeah. And then you get all the fucking ribbons.
Participation ribbons.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand the whole fucking trophy farming shit that they do with kids. I had all this fucking junk of yeah, I show up to an event, I get a fucking ribbon. They were doing this all the time in my generation too. It seems like everybody wants to complain about it, but our parents were the ones who were responsible for doing all of this shit. But I remember having a whole collection of this garbage I didn't want. I was like, why? I had a sister who was really into soccer and she kept getting trophies and our house had fucking trophies all over. I was like, who gives a fuck about any of this stuff?
I wrote this crazy poem about Tobey Maguire that I lost, but it ended. It was this crazy poem that I was totally zapped out of my brain, and I was just blasting my scrapbook, and I ended up cutting up a dollar bill because it was all about greed, right? I knew this was all about greed, and I ended up cutting actual money and pasting it with maple syrup and it was this weird collage art poem that I wrote over top of it. It was this weird thing. I had no outlet, so I was just ripping apart. I did this scrapbook for about a year that was just filled with, I mean, I don't know who has it. It's out there somewhere or somebody threw it out or whatever, but if somebody has it in their possession, it's got wild shit in it. And but in it was this. I had this weird chanty poem. It was go go, grab your catch, deep deep. There's nothing left. It was all this weird him me shouting at him for stomping out my life. And then at the end, I shout, "Where's my fucking ribbon?" Is the one of the last lines is "Where's my ribbon?" I was at least give me my fucking ribbon.
I that for some reason that reminded me of often when there's one of these really heinous violent acts and then the cops will get all they'll get hard-ons on showing everybody showing the media all the personal possessions of the offender who did this horrific really bad violent thing
yeah,
and they'll show them all their personal possessions and then they'll there's always a notebook or something that is really insane looking. And I'm well, I mean, every teenager has that.
Yeah, exactly. That's not.
Every young person
creates. Oh, look at this. I look into their psychological breakdown.
Every single kid should, by this standard, every teenager in any suburb in America should be committed or something.
Yeah, for sure.
They all have this, you journal, you have your secret diary because there's a bunch of insane shit in there,
Exactly. There's a reason why we're not allowed to read them.
Yeah, that's so weird that you pasted torn up dollar bills with maple syrup. That's so insane, Dale.
I had a bunch of things in there like that. It was all this. There was a lot of anger. Well, I think it wasn't long after I had I was quite inspired by the William Burroughs exhibit that we talked about.
Yeah.
And there were other artists that I went and saw these like installations, and I was like really inspired by it because it's really like for me, one of the things about my astrology, it's so true, is I've got a lot of earth sign predominance in my chart. My stellium, my sun stellium is in an earth sign, and Capricorn, and my moon, I'm a night chart, so my luminary is in my seventh house of Taurus, which is also earth. So I'm like really into the earthy things.
So you should be making like tangible art.
So when I got into this idea of like expressing some of my writing of poetry through also this expression of like sort of abstracty, sort of
I have a question.
Subtextual expression, I just fucking went crazy with it. Food, I did everything. It was nuts. Angela.
Did you use maple syrup because you're Canadian?
No, I use it because I didn't want to use glue.
It wasn't like a statement about your Canadianship? I didn't want to use anything
that wasn't like I didn't want to use anything that was like I used money. I used like everything. I colored it with paprika. Like I just used, I did all these. It was weird. It was a weird little piece of like art that was this big poem. I wish I could remember the poem. The only thing I remember the poem was, go, grab your catch, deep, deep. There's nothing left. It's sanity or vanity. And then I just tear into it after that. And then I end up with this like, and then it's like, and it's all like, and it's like a couple of pages long, and it's got this dollar bill that's been dissected and then reconstructed in these like other, sort of, it's a little trippy piece.
You got to make it into a song. Like a really like a metal song. It
definitely would be something.
I mean, not in this apartment because we have neighbors.
It was one of the most painful things I ever wrote. I spent the day. I was broken. Like I was broken, dude. And I was just like I had nowhere to go. I had nowhere to go with it. Nothing. And I had no friends. I had nowhere to call or talk to. My family was inaccessible. It was such madness. And I was like, I thought that I was gonna break. Like I thought I was gonna break. That's why it's sanity or vanity. I felt like, I was going to snap, dude. I was close. I came so close to like, put this guy away. But I think it was poems like that and that book in particular that saved me. So I actually don't mind that it's out there in the universe in that way. Because
if it's like sticky with fucking maple syrup, it's probably in the trash. Like,
no, it wasn't sticky. It was, I got all rid of all the sticky with the paprika, Angela. That's what the paprika was for.
Okay. I wish we had any of that stuff, though. I'd love to see it.
It was madness.
I'd love to see it and then have the dawning realization that I'm like married to an insane person.
Actually, I thought that it was very artful. Like it was actually this book actually ended up being a journey of like sort of my psychological struggle of dealing with an incredible amount of loss.
Yeah.
And so it comes out of it. Similarly to the book in that, like, even though it's like all kinds of fucked up, there's something inspiring at the end of it because I cling to every day of my life, every breath I fucking take, I cling to the belief that it's all very near to me, that it's all still there, and that I'm going to get it, access to this beautiful art form and what was unlocked and what was kind of promised in 1996. I feel it there. It's as close to me as it's ever been, and it's waiting. It's waiting for that door to be reopened. And I've clung to that my whole time. And that is why there's always hope at the end of everything, because I cannot fathom, breathing without believing that there's hope that in some form or fashion, that which was ours, that which was promised to us by our hard work and by our accomplishments, will be realized. And I'm never going to give up hope on that. I'll be, 87 with those like red fucking droopy, fucking teary, fucking duck fucking eyelids.
Pulsing on your
skin. What I mean? You know what I mean? Just sit there. People are like, I want to look them in the eye, but I can't, that kind of shit.
Made creases.
Yeah. Did I?
Yeah.
What, am I dehydrated?
I did feed us a really salty dinner.
It was good though.
It was really good. A scientist said, I think that earlier you were referring to false light, which is like defamation.
Yes, false light, exactly.
Which is like defamation, but isn't false information.
No, you're right. It was false light.
And so that's if you're telling the truth. But
yeah.
No, wait. False light would be falsehood. What's the difference?
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to like define it because, I've already got people correcting me correctly correcting me.
Shannon O said,
and I'm just going to fuck it all up.
I said that nobody uses the word malice. And I got corrected.
Yeah, everybody does.
Danielle Steele uses the word malice a lot.
Yeah, well.
That's great. I've never
False
read
light is a
any of
legal
those
term
books.
referring to an invasion of privacy tort where someone is portrayed in a misleading or offensive way that creates a false impression, even if the portrayal isn't technically a false statement of fact. So I guess like one of the things that Leo could try to come after me for example, is false light in this. Well,
this is so interesting because that applies to Blake Lively and having all of her old interviews resurface, where they're portraying her as if she's like this bully against women, but really it's like if you just take these interviews for what they are, which is like several years apart from each other, and then it doesn't show a pattern at all, then how they're compiling it and presenting it makes it false, even though they're true excerpts. That's really interesting. Lisa Timms is with us. Was too sick yesterday.
Lisa Timms, yes.
I hope you're feeling better.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
Lisa said you did succeed, Dale.
I did. I mean, I do. I grapple with the fact that, listen, fuck. I read, and I love the works of people who didn't get to like really truly realize their work, or even like get to probably the levels that their work promised by either, having things like a life cut short or, perhaps mental illness. It could be just any number of things. So I recognize, and look, I also recognize that I have lots of life left. Pray.
I mean, unless you get raptured.
I'm not going to get raptured. I'm
could.
not on the list.
You got baptized. You could get raptured.
So what, man? I'm not. It's like
I don't think it's up to you, Dale. I think it's up to him.
His light. when we every time we're driving and the sun shines through the clouds, I go, look, his light. Every time. Because it must, like, as a religious person, you must think that. Like, it's not to tease them, but every time I see one,
no, it's
like,
not to tease them.
To me,
actually,
it does feel majestic.
I know. I actually
and
really,
like a majesty to it.
I like those religious beliefs. Like I co-sign those beliefs
for sure. Like Ra and like the whole like the sun god, right?
Yeah, totally.
Helios.
Yeah,
right?
I think they're cool.
Like that. That's the shit. And so yeah, man, his light. I love it.
I went to
it's a big thing for me.
When I lived in Brazil, I went to a Catholic school. And I remember the religion teacher, who was a religion teacher, but they only taught one religion.
Right. It wasn't theology. It was religion. It was this religion.
The one.
Our religion, yeah.
Well, I remember them being really confused, and they were trying to challenge me about because at the time when I was a teenager, I just wasn't a believer. Yeah. I had been raised in, my parents were church going, but I was like, it doesn't make sense. And then, so they asked, I remember specifically this guy, the teacher asked me, so when you wake up in the morning and it's a beautiful day, who do you think? And I thought that was just such an odd question. But it's like you're saying, like you drive down the road and you see like a beautiful sunbeam coming through the clouds.
Yeah.
Like, so obviously they're attributing that to someone and they're grateful to someone.
Right.
This person couldn't understand how I could just be grateful for a pretty day and not have to attribute it to a thankful feeling for someone. It's
weird because there's on the one hand, there's this really beautiful thing about what that statement does, which is invokes gratitude.
Yes, which is so healthy for people.
Yeah.
Gratitude is so wonderful. And I think that that's one of the reasons why I'm really supportive of religion. I think that religion does really wonderful things for people. It's the organization of religion, I feel like, that is too often exploited to control people and like pit people against each other.
Yeah.
But religion on its own, obviously, is like really wonderful for people.
How do we get into this conversation? Is it because of the fucking comet? Because I wonder how like comet like factors into comets, like how things like those kinds of celestial events, how they kind of factor into everything.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's like conversations about fatalism. I don't know, like about.
Thank the polar vortex and the giant yellow gas cloud.
Yes.
Junk Farm. Thank you for tuning in, man. That's a good one.
That's a really good one. So when you're saying like, oh, it's a beautiful day, I'm so thankful for this polar vortex. So grateful for this atmosphere.
Lee's giving Hanada her props for being like sharp as a razor blade.
Yes.
She knows her stuff, man.
Yep. Jeremy Wright is with us. I think Don's Plum would have been a fantastic opportunity if not for Maguire. He was the problem, not the film.
Yeah, that's it. It was him. He was the problem, and the film was wonderful.
Toby had DiCaprio's ear. He talked shit and killed the film.
Yeah,
That's what Jeremy says.
yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Lisa said, Jeremy, I feel you. He thought way too much of himself.
Yeah, and I truly believe that my theory in the book is solid, even if it's not accurate to the movie Spider-Man, but to the opportunities that he had now seen, sort of uncovered by the recent success he was having.
Yeah,
So-
Jeremy said Maguire owes much of his career to Leo. I agree with Dale. I think Spider-Man came to Toby because Leo didn't want the role.
I believe that wholeheartedly, and I know that Sam Raimi says that Toby was his idea. I don't believe it. And do I believe that he thinks it was? Maybe. Do I think it's possible that he thought that he came up with the idea of Tobey Maguire? Maybe. But I know how cast gets pushed on directors. I know how cast gets pushed on producers, and it can be very subtle. It can be very, very, very subtle.
Alex has an interesting question.
Like leaving fucking like magazines on the fucking, like Baz Luhrmann chose DiCaprio, like knew he was Romeo from a picture in a magazine.
Yeah.
Saw him in a magazine and was like, Romeo, that's Romeo, which I totally get.
Yeah, me too. Alex is asking if you'd have let Kevin Connolly edit the movie with you guys, would he have been blacklisted too?
No, well, what you're bringing up is a very interesting story because like we had this discussion last night, and I'm not going to get into. Angela and I had this conversation last night, actually, a little overtime on the couch, and I can't get into the details of the conversation, but I will say because it involves material that I would consider far too sensitive to bring up at this time, as it relates to Don's Plum. But I'm going to say that if there were certain events that were different with Don's Plum in terms of happenings, things that occurred, there's one particular event that if it hadn't occurred, and I can't describe what it is specifically, and I won't for some time, but if one thing hadn't occurred, there might have been a completely different direction to this movie in terms of and the relationship we had with our friends during post-production. And I think a part of that might have been having things like the guys more involved in the post-production process. And it's really hard to say what would have been the outcome. My immediate suspicion is that they would have loved it, that we would have actually garnered all of their support, that Toby would have been spoiled by too much enthusiasm and support for the film as they've been a part of its development through post. So I think that, it's possible that but listen, in the same breath, you can very easily say, and this is a very real problem, because, you bring up something very interesting. If we introduce just Kevin Connolly, because the truth is we couldn't have a revolving fucking door in the editing bay. We wouldn't get anything done, for starters. And the amount of fucking opinions, bro, like it is so hard to deal with notes. Notes is difficult, especially if you're really like respectful to them. I am. So I need as few as possible in order to be able to like keep a focus and not confuse myself and end up like, totally away from my original goals and so on and so forth. So if we'd have just let Kevin Connolly in, just Kevin Connolly, it is entirely possible that he ended up feeling that same divide. But everything aside, I think if Tobey Maguire felt threatened by that movie and was still in the same position that he was in, which was this highly elevated position, remember that when he shot Don's Plum, Tobey Maguire was nobody. He was nobody. He was no different than he's obviously, higher up in the hierarchy of Hollywood than I was. He was a testing actor, casting directors knew who he was. He was an established worker bee, but he had no clout. He had no, real experience. And so it wasn't until after Don's Plum had shot that his star suddenly rose because he booked the Griffin Dunn short. And then from the Griffin Dunn short
Fast Sofa?
No, that's a feature film.
What was it called?
That one was called, I can't remember right now. I brought it up here a few times. Duke of Groove.
Yeah.
So he produced, so he got in this like, Duke of Groove short where they were trying to like really elevate Griffin Dunne. That got nominated for an Oscar. After that Oscar nomination, that got the attention of casting directors that were casting for Ang Lee's Ice Storm. You know, Toby Redford. He's actually very well cast for it. It's perfect like 70s kind of casting, really, because he was still kind of a shaggy Toby at that time. And he got the part, man. And that was the worst thing that ever happened to Don Splunk, because if he was still sitting there trying to fucking put a career together, he would have been all up in Don Splunk.
Yeah, he would have been really grateful to have that on his reel.
If he hadn't got that Griffin Dunne short,
yeah,
my life would have been incredibly different right now. But I'm glad to be sharing it with you nonetheless.
Austin is recommending movies. This is really interesting.
Let's hear it.
Speaking of light, because you were talking about light,
yeah,
I was watching Out of the Furnace with Christian Bale.
Oh, I don't know that
There's
movie.
something about the dusk in the Rust Belt in West Virginia. The director is Scott Cooper. Does anyone know anything more? So I went to
I don't even know the
Letterboxd
movie.
here. Scott Cooper is a writer-director. He's done a bunch of movies with Christian Bale.
So he's this guy, huh? That's neat.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
That's so cool.
And all of these look fucking awesome. So I'm definitely interested in watching
binge
these.
out on these.
Yeah, well, also, I just really like seeing writer-directors.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is your vision on the screen. Like, I'm
Yeah, until he just isn't my taste, and then
until
I'm
it's like fucking 4 hours long.
Yeah.
And you're like, I can see the self-indulgence.
yeah.
So thanks for that, Austin. Bring and check this out.
So the answer is we don't have any information.
I don't. Out of the Furnace by Christian Bale. The premise is.
Let's just go see it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
You
let's
wanna
just
hear
get it
about
on our list. You got a screenshot. We got to like.
Do you want to know who's
our
in
list
it?
is getting packed this week, bro.
We're gonna do it.
We
We're
got
gonna do
a
all.
lot. I can't do them all in the one week.
you wanna know the-
I got the Philadelphia Eagles. I got to work on this shit.
Do you want to know the cast?
Okay, I'll know the cast.
Christian Bale,
Ooh, he's good.
Zoe Saldana,
Oh, she's good.
Woody Harrelson,
Oh, he's good.
Sam Shepard, Willem Dafoe, Casey Affleck, Forrest
damn.
Whitaker.
Bro.
Yep.
I was working at a furniture shop when Forrest Whitaker came in, and I sold him a cart table, and he was the fucking nicest guy I ever met in my life. I swear to God, I couldn't believe how nice he was. He was like, I was like, hey, what's going on? He's like, hey, how you doing, man? And he was like, we hung out for like an hour while he was choosing between like 3 different cart tables, man.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Alex?
I was like, I wish he like bought something, like he was like a star, you know, so I could have used a bigger commission.
Yeah.
He bought a fucking cart table for like $250. I made like $10. I was like, oh, thanks, Forrest. You're a really good guy. I wish you could like at least buy something. Like we have some of the, I had, an actor, a TV sitcom actor come in, and he bought like an $8,000 like ironwood table. I like made
yes.
bank that day. I was like, that's what I'm talking about, Forrest. Go ahead. Sorry.
Alex is asking the important questions. Are you ready?
Yes.
Could you ever speak to Toby ever again? Like, if a zombie apocalypse was to happen, could you work together as part of a survivors group? And if the P Posse was a zombie survival group, who would survive and who would be eaten?
Well, I think I would be one of the survivors if I were in it. If I'm not a part of that group, then of the people I knew in the posse, probably Kevin Connolly would be the most likely survivor out of them all.
Why?
He played hockey.
He played hockey. No, but this first question is really interesting. Could you ever speak to Toby ever again? Like, if a zombie apocalypse was to happen, could you work together as part of survivors group? So if you were like, if you trekked,
We would have that first big scene where we beat each other to an absolute fucking purple pulpy,
yeah, right.
know.
So you trek for like miles in the wilderness.
We're all, like,
you
cut,
know?
our lips are all
You're
cut.
all like depleted. You're following like the cardboard signs that say like survivor camp this way.
Yeah.
You get there, and who do you see at the fucking big dining table but Toby fucking Maguire?
So at that point,
do you just like launch yourself at him?
Well,
Like,
so
you'd,
no,
like-
at that
like in
point I
that-
wouldn't, because at that point I'd be like, all right, well, what the fuck? It's not like I could have a career anyway. Like at that point I'd be like, I got a whole set of different problems. You know, my I mean, what he did was awful, and it'll
Yeah,
never
but don't
not
you
be
think
awful.
that he would do the same thing in a survivor group, like scheme against people,
Yes, I
turn
100%
people
would.
against each
Never
other?
trust Toby Maguire ever. I highly recommend that nobody ever trusts that guy. He is not trustworthy. He's not. He's just not. He's absolutely not trustworthy. So,
Which is so amazing, because that's what he said about you to people when he was trying to turn them against you with false.
it's so
With
funny
this
because like,
false narrative that you were somehow like betraying your friends, and it never fucking happened.
well, it's just
It's just like, it's
how?
always fucking like, it's always projection with these people. It's always like Darvo, you know?
Explain how.
Yeah.
He's just like,
nobody
how?
could ever explain how.
No one can.
You can. You can explain how he did it.
Yeah, I can. But nobody, it's like a funny thing about all of the people who have sort of turned their back to me. Not one of them have a good reason. Not one.
Yeah.
There's literally 0 people with a good reason who have turned their back on me.
So in the survivors camp,
Yeah.
do you like break
I
bread?
said we beat each other's faces to a pulp. It's nearly to kill, to death. And then we probably become like comrades.
No way.
Yeah, that's how the movie goes.
I'd show up with you and be like, we should keep searching. And you'd be like, we can't go back out there.
That or we just one of
we
us
should
dies.
probably try.
That or one of us dies, I suppose, is a possibility. In a post-apocalypse.
If the question is which member of the P posse would you shove toward the zombies to get you guys a good running start?
Yeah, that's definitely Toby. Yeah, look, I mean, Toby to me is one of the worst people I've ever encountered in my life. I think that he is. I think he's just a terrible human being. And
you got to be a real fucking scumbag to divide your friend group for no reason.
For no good reason.
To come up with a lie that enrages them so much that they break up their friendships that they've had for years, decades even, since childhood.
And remember the lie that he used, it was even the stupidest lie because he literally told Leonardo DiCaprio that I confessed that somebody else said.
That somebody else was planning something.
That at least we had a voice in the press. It wasn't me or RD said that. We wouldn't have said that. We wouldn't even know what a voice in the press fucking was. But it was that I said that somebody else had said that we became accountable to the extent that he had to. And by the way, this is why this whole theory of urgency, and this is the most important thing. Why did Tobey Maguire have to get rid of this movie fast? And it was obviously because we were about to sell it. And so he felt the urgency. He knew that we're like around the corner was a fucking huge deal for us, a multi-million-dollar deal and an entire future as filmmakers. And also, by the way, an entire future of working with them, our friends, as actors. We were going to cast them in everything.
Yeah.
Everything. In some some sort of variation of lead to supporting, So... Yeah, man. There was urgency, man. A lot of it.
SC is saying Tobey Maguire was cast in Spider-Man, Pawn Sacrifice. Well, that was his production. And Seabiscuit, all great projects, but in my opinion, he's considered a C-lister at best. Since I've started, since we started dating, I've sort of been reading about Tobey Maguire, and I've been wondering if other people have this same experience with him. And I've found a few different instances where people are talking about him being a pain in the ass on set. They're talking about how he is really, really difficult to negotiate with because he'll change his terms, just like you said that he was doing on your set.
Yeah.
There was also that award show where he is up as a presenter on stage with Kirsten Dunst, and you can see this like really strange, snotty behavior from him. Because I guess she took his line or something, and he like reacts really badly.
Yeah, it's a famous gift.
So I think that SC is commenting that he's considered a C-lister at best. I think that that's entirely because of his behavior. I think people fucking clock him as like a fucking weirdo who makes shit uncomfortable or like is too, I don't know, man.
I also think that
he makes problems.
I also think that it's because he's not very memorable in his work. Like his work is meh at best anyway. It's not like I'm just saying you can cast somebody else and be fine.
No, it's true. Like on that I think a lot about that scene in Brothers where he's having his like tantrum.
His meltdown, yeah.
And I think about it because you describe him having a tantrum. I'm trying to picture it, like
That's
when he has a fucking freak out.
That's the one.
But it's like I can't believe the other actors aren't laughing because his tantrum is so fucking weird. Like him playing enraged is not threatening at all. He seems like a kid having a fucking tantrum.
No, I mean, I would just take care of that.
Like in the grocery store where you're like, we'll just wait it out. Like not threatening at all, like not scary. It's just having a fucking hissy fit. He's a weirdo, and I wonder how many times directors are like, well, we'll work with what we got because it wasn't much.
I just don't understand. He's just weird. I'll tell you, it's so funny because like Nick's wife is here and saying like, it's a shame because he was an idol to her, and now, now she might, be wrong or whatever. And I don't know. I mean, it sucks here, man. Like I'm not sitting here trying to destroy people's idols, although I think you can definitely do better. just because he hasn't really contributed much. Poker, that's his contribution. I mean, as far as film goes, I mean, again, I don't know that he's contributed all that much, but Tobey Maguire, before we fell out, was one of the kindest, most loving people to me that I probably ever knew. He cared for me, was what I felt as though he cared for me. In the book, when I talk about when he's offering me acting lessons, paying for my acting lessons, when he's offering to get me into David LeGrand's very prestigious and very coveted acting class, he was, pardon me, the reason why that was such an effective tool for him is because I wouldn't have doubted his intent there ever. Like, that is the kind of person he was. He was just short of Jeremy Sisto in some of the saintly behavior that I observed.
But that
I didn't know about his dark side.
I know. That is what's so like antisocial, like sociopathic about
Right.
like, how could you take a friend who you've built trust? You've built a bond of trust with.
I loved
You've
him.
bonded with them like this person loves you.
Yeah.
And then you could just use them as a tool of division between your friends to get something for yourself where nobody else is going to benefit from.
Yeah. I would've
You're going to
gone down for him
destroy
and-
all of their work be for your own benefit and you're not going to think twice about that. It's just fucking insane to me. And this is why I feel like I don't ever push back when you say that this person is dangerous and nobody should work with him because he can't be fucking trusted. Like, who would fucking do something like that and not feel and not stop themselves? Like, he had a million times to stop himself before.
I do not say people should not work with him. That's not my I do not believe that people should not work with him. So just for clarity, I'm not in any way trying to interfere with his ability to get work or to work with other people. But I forget where I was. I had something else to contribute and I got distracted by that. I just wanted to clarify that because I'm definitely not out for that.
I guess I'm confusing it because it's just such projection,
Yeah.
Like, he said that to about you to people.
Yeah.
That you can't be trusted. He told Jersey Films, and he admits this in his deposition. I mean, he's fucking bragging about it. He told Jersey Films that you can't be trusted, that you betray your friends. Like, motherfucker, that's what you're doing.
And what would that have to do with me working with Jersey Films in the first place?
I know, totally.
Nick's wife said that his life was sometimes tough and his dad was a robber. His dad was like his dad made a mistake or whatever. His dad wasn't really like a serial criminal or anything. He was just a guy trying to figure out how to get money on the table, bro, because America's the wild, wild west, man.
Yeah, it's just true.
There's not
it's hard out there.
There's not a lot of help out there when things aren't going so well. You just
he didn't hurt anybody, right?
But no. It was like
just trying to get
it was
money.
like almost like it was like a funny one. It was like I think he just walked in with a note. Like, I don't think he had a weapon or anything. I think he just walked in and said, "This is a robbery," and they're like, "Okay, but you got to like produce something. You make me scared, bro. You got to make me scared. I'm not just going to give you the money because you handed me a fucking piece of paper that said, give me the money."
It's tough, man. Poverty makes people desperate. I don't think that makes him a bad person. If he had hurt somebody, that'd be different. Cosmic Urgency is back in the survivor camp, okay?
Oh.
Said, I think Toby convinces Dale they're friends again and then lets the zombies get him.
See, this is Angela's. This is all you and Angela, bro. Like, Angela's like, nah. Like, that's what you're saying. If Toby's in the room in that fucking zombie situation, you're like, no. We're better off alone, dude.
Yeah.
This guy's going to kill you and he's going to eat you.
You make a big show of it, too. You tell everybody else that that's why you're leaving. That guy right here. This guy?
Yeah.
He's no fucking superhero. You have a monster in your midst.
I do feel bad that people show up here and they're idols to these guys. And then, through my book and through my experience, they get a different impression of them. But I want you to know that they were my heroes too. They were my heroes. They were. I loved them, man. I tried to honor them, in Don's Plum. Don's Plum was a love letter to them, ultimately. Nah, shit. Bummer. I was having, remember I told you sometimes I wake up, I have these days where I wake up and I'm just like, and I feel the emptiness of it all.
Oh.
That was today. I woke up with the emptiness of it all. Yeah. It gave me a headache. I'd been headache free. I told you we had a headache. I got a headache for like a month and I'd been headache free and I got one today just from being fucking getting myself emotionally sucked into something. It's the like the shit part of my experience is that like I'm better now, you know, like I don't suffer from depression anymore, which is huge, by the way. And I didn't know this, but depression is a major contributor to early onset Alzheimer's. How about that? It's a big contributor. So I'm like, ooh, I better not be depressed anymore.
That's so
I'm happy.
strange.
I'm happy. I'm happy.
I feel like they're both just. I think they're both like symptoms of the same disease. I don't think that. So I think that if depression is present, then you're at higher risk for Alzheimer's because they're both.
Well, you are. I just read
it
today, according to science.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's not like your depression causes Alzheimer's. I think that they're both just being activated by something. Like it's probably gut health or something like that.
They have this acronym called SHIELD, and it stands for all the things that you need to like take care of to sort of be preemptive about Alzheimer's, and the D is depression. So it's like don't be depressed. Like you got to work on depression. If depression will help, sort of. It's weird, but it's called SHIELD. I read about it today. It just oddly showed up on my thing. I guess my Diamond's like, hey. I forget what all the other ones stand for though.
It's already started.
Jeremy Sisto was on my side. Well, I don't know. Fucking, I don't think anybody was on my side. Man, I'm such a damaged individual when it comes to friends. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know about how, I don't really understand what the word friend means or what friendship really does mean. I'm not really sure about it. I don't understand what's expected of me, and I don't know what to expect of others, because everything that I thought was expected of me and everything that I thought I should expect from others who called me and whom I called friend, it just turned out not to be real. It turned out not to be true. So I've never really understood. I don't really have any footing on the sort of, I understand liking people and being liked by people. So that part I can still, enjoy. But when it comes to friends, I just don't even know what that is. I truly don't know what that means. I don't know what to actually make of it.
I think that I think it'd probably be really easy for you to not see. Here's the issue is that whenever you're friends with somebody, you want to collaborate with them because everybody has really amazing artistic talents, and your main thing is that you love to bring out people's artistry,
the best in them, yeah.
Yeah, and so I feel like as soon as you start to collaborate with somebody, now there's something that they could possibly ruin of yours, or betray you over, or get pissed off, or whatever. Now you guys are bonded in this very unique way where there's something at stake. I feel like if you just simply had a relationship where you didn't do that, you'd be fine because...
Yeah, well, our friendship's obviously amazing. And, I think it's...
You and me?
Yeah, our friendship is probably, the biggest part of our life together,
Yeah, so how come you don't think I'm going to betray you all the time? You just gulped. I saw it. You're like, I hadn't thought about it, but now that you mention it, now I'm really concerned.
Listen, man, I'm just white knuckling gripping this thing, and I'm hoping that everything is gonna just be fine. Listen, man, it's just a weird thing. It's a weird dynamic. It's my own PTSD. I have it. It's bad. It's really bad. Like, for example, if somebody tells me that they love me and they're my friend, I become immediately. I have a PTSD moment, like instantly. I can feel it in my body. I feel like it's not just backing off. I feel like a barrier goes up. Like I almost don't want to call them for a long time.
Yeah, you need therapy, babe. That sucks.
I'm all broken.
You gotta have somebody.
I'm busted.
You gotta have somebody help you work through that.
I'm shattered.
That's a tough one though, because it's not like you can isolate the variables. It's not like you're afraid of spiders and you can like figure out how to get close to a spider. It's like friendships are so dynamic. Like it's not like you can. It's not easy to figure out.
It's a tough one. We need to talk about Jimmy Kimmel before we end tonight's live. Because,
so he's back tonight, I guess?
Well, here's the thing, and this is a very interesting thing. So he is back tonight on ABC, but affiliates are blocking him, including a very big one called Sinclair Broadcasting. Sinclair Broadcasting is demanding that Jimmy Kimmel apologize to Charlie Kirk on air for his comments.
Oh, my God.
With some specific language, and make a sizable donation to Turning Point USA.
Wait, but this is okay. They want him to apologize to a dead man?
They want him to apologize for the comments that he made about Charlie Kirk's.
Oh, apologize to.
So I'd say to Charlie Kirk, but that was, whatever. Obviously, It's not to him, but apologize for the things that he said about Charlie Kirk, and then make a sizable donation to Turning Point. What's significant about this is that when you are ABC or any major broadcasting network, you sell a national ad inventory. So that's what the sales guys I used to do with this. You go out, you meet with all the big fucking ad agencies, or you meet with the big buyers at the big like Fortune 500 type companies, and you sit down. It's typically agency level though, and you sit down, you make deals with them, and you buy and you sell them the entire United States of America for your big shows. So it is a massive deal. And in its place, by the way, they're rolling out news, like local news. So which is so interesting because that's what these guys are. They just want to like propagandize. So what's their go-to, right? More propaganda.
Well, so how can they tell him that? How can they give him that ultimatum and make him say what they want him to say?
Well, they're extorting him, obviously.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what the legality is with that, but they're obviously extorting him and extorting ABC.
So they're trying to do this power play where they're like, let's make him do something that's so uncomfortable that he will deny, he'll refuse to do it, and then he gets to be the asshole, and we're the people who aren't blamed for him failing to return on air. Right? That's their play?
That's interesting. John Farm's saying they really should pull all their programming. That would be the play for ABC, just to pull all the programming from their affiliate. That would be the play. You'd be like, okay, well, then you're not getting any of it. That's how they rip off, or at least back in the day, that's how they used to rip off independent filmmakers. So a film like Don's Plum would get. So if you're selling your movie, and this is still true today, if you're selling your movie, you have to put in a clause to make sure that your movie isn't a part of a package.
Oh yeah, right.
Because they'll walk in, especially, so they'll buy, whatever movie. Now say I signed a really favorable deal with our distributor where it's like a 70-30 split or something, 70 to the filmmaker, 30 to the distributor. Well, they got this other movie, right, called, Dale's Wax Dolls. And it's like this really like shitty little movie, but they're like, tell you what, you buy Wax Dolls, and I'll sell that to you. And now they got like an 80-20 split, 80 to the distributor, 20 to the filmmaker on that one. They're like, you buy that one for $3 million and I'll throw in Don's Plum for nothing. How about that? And then they'll throw in nothing. Don's Plum, and Don's Plum's not making any money because Don's Plum's got a fucking flat deal that's attributed to a $3 million deal on or it'll create a package and give Don's Plum like a small amount. It'll be like a $3 million deal, and it'll be like, Don's Plum gets like $200,000 and then $2.8 million on the 80-20 split.
God, it's just a fucking war zone out there for filmmakers.
Thieves. It's just all thieves.
God,
like artists
just get fucking hosed.
Artists make the smallest fraction. Like I said, in this book, I sell this book on Amazon, and this is the best deal on the internet. I sell this book for $24.95 on Amazon, and I make $6 gross. That's not including any anything that any expenses I have leading up into that. It's $6 gross. Mm-hmm. On 24, the rest of that money is made by Amazon. All of that is made by Amazon. They mark up the printing and they take 50, whatever it is, 40%, whatever it is of our profits.
The Junk Farm is saying, but Sinclair cannot win this. Disney caved. How fast is Sinclair going to cave when all of a sudden the entire nation focuses on them?
It's obviously a mess for them. And yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how this works. But this is what happens when the oligarchs want to control the messaging. We're just in this really weird time where I think you're probably right about that. I just don't know how. I don't even know how the fight goes. I don't know if, like, obviously ABC is going to be on the phone with them in a hurry. They've obviously been back and forth all day because they're losing these national ads. I mean, that's the whole lifeblood of that show, and that's a lot. So if they can't guarantee these Sinclair markets, and Sinclair's not the only affiliate, there's at least one more affiliate has said they're not going to air. I can't remember which one. And these affiliates are actually just more oligarchical things. They're not local affiliates. They're supposed to be.
Yeah,
it was supposed to be like this, like, okay, now we're in Atlanta, but they're owned by these billionaires. So and these billionaires are using these local affiliates, as propaganda machines for their political aspirations and or their entrepreneurial aspirations in the local market. Yeah, ABC and Sinclair still need the FCC. That's true, but the local market. I mean, obviously, the local affiliate has some kind of control because they're exercising it, and we know this. I knew this. When you're in TV back in the day, you knew that the local affiliates have to pick it up. Part of being syndicated is being able to sell to them in a more open market way. So it's a very interesting situation, and it's something that I think we all should be very, very curious about and watching closely. We're certainly going to. I'm certainly going to, because this is why this is a part of where you see the First Amendment really sort of really like playing out, because you have this now oligarchical participation in what was. And by the way, the FCC came back, the chair, he came back and said that when he said that they can do it the easy way or they can do it the hard way, that wasn't a threat. That's what he said now. He said, no, but I was saying that they can do it the easy way or can do it the hard way, right? Of straightening out this Jimmy Kimmel situation was not a fucking threat, about a licensing threat. It's the FCC giving them an ultimatum.
It's so nuts, dude.
Fucking unbelievable.
I can't believe that they would try and like make him apologize. That's so strange.
John Farham's getting political, but he's right. He's like, Reagan is the blame for
nuking the fairness doctrine.
For sure.
Yeah, I know.
That fucking administration was just, well, I mean, every one of them, Bush, I mean, we're not going to get into it, but, Patriot Act on Bush, and come on, it just gets bad. Constantly bad.
Was there anything else that you wanted to talk about tonight?
So that's the Kimmel news. Keep your eye on that one. No, I guess that's it. Let me just double check and make sure that I got to go through. Let me just peek.
Are you interested
Do you have anything?
Well, I have some things, but they can wait until tomorrow. I just have like some nature stories and stuff.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, we'll do those tomorrow. What were you going to ask?
You have a baseball game.
I know.
Do you want popcorn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me go to my saved real quick and just see if there's anything here for you guys that I had. I told you about Brian Friedman's lawsuit. It's called...
No, his website.
His website, sorry.
It's not his website. It's somebody made a website.
Yeah.
And it's anti-Brian Friedman.
Who is Brian Friedman is what it's called. And that's BRYANFREEDMAN. Who is Brian Friedman? Check it out.
Whoisbrianfriedman.com.
Just do it in incognito if you're worried about cookies. And just check it out, man. It'll probably...
Brian Friedman wants to bury his past and hide his personal transgressions. It's hypocritical, and he acts so self-righteous. This is the real Brian Friedman.
Yeah, no, that guy's a piece of trash, and I'm excited about his future because I don't think it's bright.
He is a fucking destroyer, dude, and I'm so sick of these people just continuing to be like unchecked destruction everywhere they fucking go. I want to, I support the creators, not the destroyers.
Yeah. I just want to thank you guys so much for hanging out with us again tonight. Thanks again to you guys who are also so kind about the work that I've put out, the movie, the book. It just means so much to me. It really is such an honor to be around you guys and to, I don't know, you guys make me feel great, and I really am so truly grateful to spend these times with you. So I hope you will come back and see us tomorrow, Wednesday. I don't know what tomorrow brings, but it isn't Rapture.
No.
The Rapture will not be tomorrow either.
Nope.
At least not as far as
Hey, you had a rough day. Do you feel better?
I always feel better after these lives.
Yeah.
Every time.
I can tell.
Yep.
It's great.
Yeah, these guys lift my spirit, man. And what I love is just like, we are still living in a quarantine more or less, and so we're very limited in our exposure. And what's even harder is to get around community that you feel like you actually belong to, and I feel like I belong to these guys.
Oh, I know. It's so funny too, because this entire time that I've been talking, like
belong with these guys.
So I fed us a dinner that had like really strong onions.
Yes.
And I have onion breath, and I'm like, oh my God, everybody can. I keep checking myself like everybody can smell my onion breath, but we can't because I'm just hanging out with friends.
No, it's just me, Angela. You're just onioning me.
Well, you ate it too, so you're safe.
You guys are the best. We will see you tomorrow at 7:00. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. Thank you for hanging out with us. It really does mean a lot.
Good night.
Good night, guys.